I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
In 5.
God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all 3. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic.
When there's no X-ray, she's abandoned us.
Isn't it early for Chinese New Year?
She's in the,
barely hear
the
that.
Alps.
It is.
Could barely hear that one, Gary. We could barely hear the X-Ray Girl theme.
You can? Oh.
Barely.
That's
like it's
so sad.
really low.
Yeah.
How about that? That's good. That's
There
good.
you go.
That's good.
There you
That
go.
better?
Much better.
Well, it doesn't matter. She's not here anyway. So
Yeah. Who cares?
forget it.
Fuck her.
Right?
Who cares, right? Nobody cares.
Welcome to Friday Night Tights. Let's do this. I'm caffeinated. I'm ready to go. Talk about Ahsoka because Star Wars is saved, ladies and gentlemen. It finally happened.
Saved again.
This time.
We're back.
It's saved. And the #1 Ahsoka fan here is D-Day Cobra. Did you watch any of it?
I watched the first 10 minutes. I'm done. I watched the first 10 minutes. I saw the old white man who walked like Joe Biden arrogantly get up. But before he got up, symbolically said, "Hi, I'm the old white man who can barely walk. Here, beautiful woman of color who's slightly overweight. We are going to give you all of my power because I'm incompetent and arrogant. And now, like an asshole, I'm going to go and get killed." And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
If it makes you, feel any better, she dies too.
Yeah, he gets the rest of his
gets
crew
kinda
killed.
off screen.
You don't see her getting run through with a lightsaber.
Of course not.
No.
Well, then it's because she would survive.
Next day she'd be up and running. She'd be
And
fine.
I saw random women just popping up being force sensitive. We had to rescue a woman who seems to be in charge, and I'm like, I'm fucking done. It just, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It's awful.
I thought Ahsoka was your favorite.
Yes, and she should have died.
Yes.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah,
like
I agree
if I was like in the 7th version of Christian Bale's movie because Nolan just wants to cash grab Bale's Batman, I'd probably be like, fuck this Batman at this point. Like, it ended at 3. I'm happy with that. It had some flaws in the 3rd one. But if we were at the 7th fucking movie and Batman's just, you know, holding a lightsaber in the 7th Nolan movie, I'd probably be like, fuck this movie. Ahsoka's a great character from the Clone Wars, decent in Rebels. She should have she should be dead.
She should be dead.
100%.
Should have been killed by Anakin. Should have been
I
killed by Anakin.
personally think she should have died sacrificing herself for Rada the Hutt. I think that would have been the best end to her life, which wouldn't have been a long run for her. But
Deep
I think it
cut,
would have been
man.
noble.
Deep cut. I saw that in the theaters, dude.
Yes.
You know, me too.
I skipped that in the theaters.
The thing is, though, this Ahsoka in the show, it's not Ahsoka. She's nothing like a character from Clone
not even
Wars.
close. Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't even say that. Like, she's nothing like her character from Rebels. I think that's the better comparison because
I think she's closer to her, but I think the evolution's fine in terms of how I think the portrayal. Again, I haven't seen the show. I'm talking about what I've seen from her in live action and some of the other stuff. Like, her appearances have been fine. I can say just from the little bit I saw from her in this 10-minute show, because I saw the part where she outsmarted like
you saw
20,000.
the Indiana Jones
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
It was nonsense. Just for like 10 minutes.
It was nonsense. And
Very Indiana Jones.
I didn't
Very
like
boring, too.
I already like, yeah, she's got this brooding kind of personality, and it just seems like they're leaning further into this. She's a badass woman she doesn't have a female attitude. She's the ultimate badass attitude. Don't fuck with her. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it seems like.
That's not the character, man.
I understand that. Yeah,
That's what they're trying, though.
Yeah, that seems like they're pushing it even further and further. And yeah, so fuck Disney Star Wars, fuck Lucasfilm, fuck Dave Filoni, fuck Ahsoka, fuck Kathleen Kennedy. I'm out.
You know what I have to say to you, Jeremy?
What?
Oh, another female character. How unfair. Maybe we'll do another. Who knows?
I've said this on Daily a few days ago. I just watched the first Transformers movie for the first time in forever, and I love that movie, and I watched it again, and it holds up, and I'm invested in it just watching it. Optimus Prime, and the Autobots returning. I just cared about it. Those first 10 minutes of me watching Ahsoka, I cared nothing for anything going on. None of it meant anything to me. It meant nothing. Not even anger. Not anger. I just don't care. It is meant for pronouns and bio, overweight, blue-haired Landwells on Twitter. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Fucking have it. Take it. Don't need it. Don't want it.
Well, that's also an issue with the writing, because the writing gives you nothing to care about these characters. Nothing endeared me towards any of them. And I think I've watched half an episode of Rebels, so I did not know who was who going into this. And watching Ahsoka, I do not give a crap about anyone in this show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Do you want to stop shouting from the doorway and come to your microphone?
I think he's in a great hall. That has to be
taking a shit. He's taking a shit.
I told you, I'm not in the best location right now. So.
I know you're in the toilet.
The freaking castle.
He's in the bidet.
Castles are great for
the
audio.
bidet.
They're great toilets too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a little bit of a lesbian undertone between Ahsoka and Sabine, or was I just willing that to happen?
Well, there was only women in the show, so yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
It has to be.
And it's Disney Star Wars.
I don't made a think joke they're in my actually- video calling them Lick Sisters, so it's just you. I think so. Personally, what I think with all of Ahsoka, it seems like there's big gaps where Dave Filoni just felt like his writing was just so fucking incredible that people would connect with these characters that he needed to give it so much room for people to have emotional reactions to it. But since that's not actually there because it's not any good, you're left to kind of fill the void with whatever your thoughts are. You're like, why the fuck are they just sitting here staring at each other on me? Well, they must have fucked or something. Like that's what's happening.
They have some unresolved issues from the Clan Wars.
Hey!
That's good.
Oh man.
Mostly dead to me. Most of the characters not really interacting that well. Everyone pausing, everyone sort of drifting off into space. Boring seems to be the big takeaway everyone had for this.
Yeah.
Check private
Chris,
chat.
did you have a
Garrett.
fucking home?
No, this is not. I'm at a hotel.
Garrett,
this is
check private
very
chat.
much a hotel.
No, I said, do you have a home?
No.
Like every week, random location with Chris.
The answer is
not
still
home.
no. Yeah.
Yes, I do not. I'm homeless. I'm just trying to fix my mic settings. I was too hot before. Everyone's saying you're hot. You're hot. I was like, thank you. But now it's I realize it's the microphone.
Hey, Az, how's it going?
It's great.
Okay,
I'm
thanks.
a gay old time today. I just had I'm amazed I got some voice. I had just been screaming my dick off at Armored Core 6.
I want to play that. So it looks so good.
Oh, dude, he goes like, hey, it's like, we're gonna do the tutorial. You jump, you dash. Here's how you fire your missiles. Here's the gun. Here's your first boss. Rape! Oh, like, and then that was it for the rest of the stream.
It looks really fucking good, though.
Yeah, I gotta get good.
So
I get good on it. I'm good. Ahsoka, it was garbage, but I mean, I wish I could say more. Well, I mean, I can say more and I will say more, but I mean, I wish I cared, but I don't. I really just don't. It's just apathetic watching Star Wars now. It's just, it's a joke. It's just so fucking dead. It's not made for men. It's not made for boys. It's not made for little girls. It's made for fucking middle-aged women by middle-aged women. And it's just it was dreadful.
Dave Filoni, notorious middle-aged woman.
Yeah, he is. No, but he
tries to hide it with the hat.
I know.
He goes off and talks to them. He goes in front of fucking rooms full of middle-aged women to talk to them, because that's what Dave Filoni is, a fucking middle-aged bitch. And Ahsoka is ass-oka. That's what it is, mate, or Ahsoka. Because that show it's just trash. 2 episodes.
How many episodes are there? Two now? 2 episodes?
2 at the minute, yeah. Just walk. Hey, Sabine, just walk it off, sweetheart. Just walk it off. Just walk it off. Didn't even have a back to tank or anything to try and pretend.
I know.
They just had like a little pad.
Little scar.
Oh, little scar's
Up
fine.
the next day. I don't know how much time passed, but it felt like the next day she was up.
One day. It was one day, and if you saw when she thrust the lightsaber and destroyed her liver, possibly, but it certainly exploded. The liver was gone, but it's probably exploded a bunch of other organs around. Lungs probably gone. Never mind all of that. But when she rammed it in, if you notice, she actually just tilts it up a little bit as well. Yeah. So the actual catastrophic damage that was done to her body, and it's fine.
Clearly, it was cauterized.
It's just a bonus.
So
that's the thing.
Yeah, it's cauterized. Yeah.
The thing that bothers me about that premise is it's not a sword, right? As Shad knows, a lightsaber is not like a sword where if I stick a sword in you, it will take a significant amount of force for me to move it one way or the other and do more damage to you on the inside. A lightsaber, it's not. It's like cutting through you like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, so if the person moves, then it's going to do more damage.
Yes.
You fucking move a little bit this way, that way, it doubles the size of that hole, triples the size.
She could have just, when she rammed it in, all she had to do was just go,
and
it was
like
just
that.
whoosh, everything gone.
Disney does think they are laser swords, though, so they probably don't even understand that concept of it. Since
I've seen a couple of people say to us, "They go, oh, what about Darth Maul?" And I was like, Darth Maul died.
That's bullshit.
Darth Maul died in Phantom Menace. He wasn't meant to be brought back. Who brought back Darth Maul?
George Lucas. If you want to say Filoni, go ahead. But George Lucas is the one that did it. So, George is notorious for just listening to other people when he was in charge of Star Wars. I guess Dave Filoni made it.
It was George and Dave Filoni. George was definitely in on that one. There's even some behind the scenes footage because they took the idea of that from an actual a Star Wars Infinities project, which was meant to be non-canon and like dumb shit, like stupid stories that could never happen in the universe, but they made them up like, what if this random thing happened?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like a dumb fun aside. It was known as not canonical, just a what if, kind of like Marvel's what if stuff. And there was one there where they told a story about what if Darth Maul survived. He had like robot legs and shit. Yeah. And it was stupid. And people thought, oh, this is dumb, but whatever. And they decided to bring that into the Clone Wars. And I hated it then. I hate it now.
I think you can make stuff like that work, but not every single fucking character that ever gets killed just comes back. Like, dude, you do that once, it's a big boom. Oh man, he survived somehow. He didn't have a shitter, but he's fine.
So what if that's the argument? Then Boba Fett's the standard, not Darth Maul.
So I think that
that's what I'm saying. Like you do one.
I guess Dave Filoni brought Boba Fett back too.
No, but Boba Fett, you have like some actual realistic. You have a guy who's down there in Beskar armor who is in something that, that keeps their people alive for like hundreds of years to slowly digest.
And that was also establishing Dark Empire as well.
You had a guy that had no purpose in the story. He died too quick. Fans wanted him, so they revived him because of fans. That's why Darth Maul came back, because of fans.
But when you say he had no purpose in the story, you mean
Boba Fett was irrelevant. Boba Fett was irrelevant.
That's the writer's problem. They can make him relevant,
but I'm saying
but
the reason they brought him back was not because of story purposes, because fans were so fascinated by the little bit of few moments that they saw him.
Yeah, but that's the same for like all the characters.
They never brought him back until Disney. Disney brought him back.
I'm not saying that's EU brought him back. But
yeah, he was brought back. He was brought back.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he trained the.
It wasn't that long after, but again, that's realistic. You have a guy that goes down in armor. Darth Maul got fucking cut in half. His spine got severed. He didn't have a fucking asshole. The man,
the man has no dick.
Right? It's not realistic to bring him back. And so what that does now is it gives you an out for every single person ever in the history of all time. Why the fuck? Why is Count Dooku's severed head not out there just angry as fuck somewhere, still alive?
On some little spider legs.
General Grievous, bring him back. Don't he exploded?
General Grievous.
Yes, and so now, like,
Mace Windu, where is he at?
Yeah, all Mace Windu
people actually want.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
He's fine.
He'll be back.
He's fine.
But
the difference is nobody's
clue.
The difference is nobody's asking for those characters back. Nobody. There was no fan movement for fucking.
I don't care. It doesn't do anything to stop the damage that does storytelling wise and what it does to the universe.
Asking for anything.
Like there's an impact. Right, the fans could ask for a lot of things that could have a negative impact on wherever the story goes in the future. And like you have to understand when it's good to listen to fans, and when just because someone asks for something, it could harm the entire fucking universe that you've created and the believability of everything that's happening, and it could destroy your story.
But
my argument they completely neutered lightsabers at this point. It's like they're not as deadly as they were before.
None of that was a problem.
And everybody has them.
None of that was a problem until Disney took over. That's when
maybe
the
not for
universe
you. It has
diluted.
since it happened.
That's right. But you said you were excited when Disney purchased Lucasfilm. Now, as soon as you saw what they did to the EU, you were done. So don't sit there and tell me that you weren't excited for the future of Star Wars. You were still in a place of positivity.
No,
and Darth Maul had already been brought back. Darth Maul had already been brought back.
You dumb cocksucker.
Right now, Darth Maul was already brought back, and you were excited for Star Wars.
Yes, I was excited for Star Wars because I thought we'd get to see some more actual.
Okay, then the universe wasn't destroyed for you.
Yeah, that is the dumbest fucking
I am telling you that the universe
that
is
is
destroyed.
That you do when you have absolutely no fucking leg to stand on, other than the same dumb thing you argued about this morning and lost.
I'm telling you that this wasn't a problem until Disney took over and has ruined everything.
Yes, it was. That's totally a problem.
It was a problem for some people that cared about things like that. Maybe not everybody cared about it.
That's fine. You're not going to please every single person, but the point was with Star Wars, you yourself were still excited after Darth Maul was back, so it clearly didn't break the universe for you.
No, bringing back Darth Maul did not in and of itself break the universe, but it is a problem, and it causes damage to the universe, and now gives you an out whenever things like this happen for them to look back and say, you can't get upset about Sabine surviving a lightsaber wound. Darth Maul was bisected, and he was fine.
That's from a Disney Star Wars fan. You're giving them credibility in their argument. Their arguments are terrible.
I'm saying that when you
there's
do
no
things
real
like
Star
that
Wars
in your
fan
universe,
making that as an argument.
You give people that out.
There's no real Star Wars fan arguing that Sabine surviving is okay.
No, Star Wars fans are arguing over Darth Maul being bisexual. That's what they're fighting about.
That's what I was saying the whole time. Feels like no one's listening.
There's no Disney Star Wars fans. You don't argue about anything. They just accept.
Ryan and Jeremy are like brothers now. They spend way too much time together. We
actually spend less time talking than before I moved to Orlando. Like he lives.
Yeah, I got fucking sick of him.
Yeah, like I don't even talk to Ryan that much.
But to Ryan's point, right, the stakes have been ruined now because once upon a time when you see a lightsaber go through someone, you could have it in, oh, he's dead, holy crap. Now when we see a lightsaber go through someone, we're thinking, well, they'll probably be alive now.
Fine.
Like, there's no stakes. There's nothing that make us feel like anything is going to really happen seriously.
We got
like
MODOK here.
Yeah, are you jerking off?
He looks like he's jerking.
Yeah, he is.
It's sexually arousing to him. Come on.
I wish I could jerk off right now.
That's getting clipped.
I'll be back.
Okay, well, where were we? Hello, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good. I think I got my intro over with. So.
Okay.
Well, the camera's on. The camera's on. It's been on the whole time.
The whole time.
Whole time, huh?
The whole time.
What's up, Quarter Black?
Yo, what's up? I watched the show. I tried to watch it in real time. I couldn't get all the way through. I watched like maybe 20 minutes. It was brutal, very slow. My favorite part was when the mayor of that town was like, several years ago, the Empire was defeated. The writers didn't care enough to go back and do the math and figure out how many years ago. Just several years ago. We have a whole monument. Several.
They've been very cagey about the specific timeline surrounding Mandalorian and Ahsoka. It's somewhere between 8 and 9 years after the Battle of Yavin, like somewhere in that range.
Several years is good enough.
3 to 9 years, maybe.
That's why.
Yeah. Well, it's the story group. The story group is in charge. They're the ones like
they have a whole group for
Pablo Hidalgo was supposed to keep track of the lore and the timelines and stuff. It's his fucking job. No, he doesn't.
No,
that's pretty apparent.
I do think it's cool to see people like Clancy Brown come back and like reprise because he voiced that character in Rebels, right? To play that role in live action.
God, they did that with several characters, but they can't have Ashley Eckstein play Ahsoka.
Well,
that's
like
would have been perfect.
It would have been cool. I don't know what
she's
I
the
don't
right
know
age.
what Ashley Eckstein's like acting skills are in front of the camera.
Well, I mean, Rosario Dawson really just blew her away. And didn't.
Yeah.
But all of her emoting,
taking Ashley over Rosario.
A lot of emotions were expressed.
Do a decent job.
I don't have any idea. I've never seen her in a live action thing before ever in history.
She did a cosplay of Ahsoka and she looked fantastic.
Yeah, but we're talking about acting and emoting. And if Rosario Dawson had trouble through all that makeup,
nobody was emoting in the whole fucking show.
True.
Wait a minute. You guys are implementing a standard of acting in a series and a company that brought Lizzo into their series.
Okay, that's a very good point.
That's a really good point, actually.
So.
That's a very good point.
Lizzo somehow has more life than Ahsoka.
By the way, is Han Solo just alive at the bottom of the hole going, I'm falling and I can't
I'm actually fine.
He's fine.
I need medical attention. It's starting to smell like almonds.
That's old reference.
Very badly burned.
very, very badly burned. I'm in a really tremendous amount of
pain right now.
What is that from?
Austin
Powers. Add an extra bit on after the credits if you. He's still there. But I was going to say, remember, Captain Phasma got shoved into the garbage chute and then exploded.
Yes.
Up in the second
she
one.
came back.
Oh, that's a good point.
Did she?
Yeah. Nobody's ever really gone.
Nobody
ever dies.
I want to know why Snoke wasn't just mad enough to stay alive.
I know.
He got fucking cut in half.
Yes.
Darth Maul me.
He should have
Should be fine.
Make more sense to bring him back.
His pop half up with his force and start fucking.
Well, he's
I think the problem with this show. The problem with the show is like Dave Filoni was trying really hard to do the long drawn out setups, like the opening with Ahsoka, where it's very Indiana Jones-esque. The opening of Indiana Jones, though, it takes a while to get going, but then after this kind of slow build, it explodes with the big ball, and he's got to run, and all of the traps get shot off, and then he's got to jump across the thing, and then he's running away from the indigenous people, all that stuff, right? That's what you have to do. But in this show, it never gets to that point. It never gets exciting. It just continues to sit and dwell and like. Let me ask how many scenes of Sabine do we have to have her go? I miss Ezra. Where's Space Aladdin?
This show was about Sabine, by the way.
I would be okay with that if she was in love with him. But the fact that Ezra
what is this?
In the holocron, you're my sister, is just like.
Maybe they just hooked
damn,
No,
friend zoned.
That's a retcon right there.
No. shut the fuck up. Listen, like,
Big Rebels fan.
They never got together or anything, but Ezra was always like wanting that, and it never really happened. I think it's perfectly believable to think that now that he's gone and after he did all that, she like realizes the feelings like that she actually I think that's perfectly fine. I don't think that's a retcon. You want to talk about retcons, there's plenty to talk about in this one. But
I feel like you need to watch the show.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of conveniently removed men, okay? Because there are male characters that are still alive that just did not show up in these first 3 episodes, including Hera's kid. And that was definitely strategic. They really wanted this to be female centric in the beginning. If the dude's going to come in later, who knows? But I mean, like, yes, that's what happened in Rebels, but they really leaned into the Force is female because they're fulfilling Kathleen Kennedy's promise. That's all this is.
All the males from Rebels are gone now.
They're not dead.
They're
not dead.
Gone. Zeb, is it Zeb?
Kanan is dead. Ron and Ezra are gone.
Yeah, okay with that. But like the male choice has been removed.
On the positive,
random bar.
On the positive, if they do bring, if they do bring Kanan back and Freddie Prinze Jr. plays him, that'll still be another female character added to the roster.
Girl bosses. Bro.
And that's,
hey,
and that's like
Garrett.
Oh God. There's a lot to talk about with this show.
Look at
this.
Hey! I thought I'd let you guys talk. A little nerd. I haven't watched this shitty Star Wars show. Sorry.
Neither have I. Benny, so it's all
been a little busy this week in the old news section of the internet.
What happened?
Really? Did something happen?
Who knows?
What up, kings and queens?
What up, Benny Johnson? Hey, we're halfway through introductions and probably the review of the Ahsoka show, so you're good.
Great. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn tonight.
If you didn't know, Benny, the Force is female. Yes. It always will be under Disney. That's pretty much all you need to know.
There is no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So where were we? Chrissy Mayer, hi.
Hello. It's great to be here. I watched the first 2 episodes of the Ahsoka show. I keep wanting to say Ashokin because it was the name of a Girl Scout camp that we went to in upstate New York as kids.
Pretty much the same thing, though.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say Ashokin.
Shokin is also the name of the prosecutor in Ukraine that Joe Biden got fired because he's a corrupt
Yes, that's also who I think of. Yeah, the Force is female, but it was not a very good advertisement for female girl bosses because the scene where Sabine steals the trinket of secrets, the ball of wonder.
The ball.
I believe that is called the Treasure Planet ripoff.
Okay, her gumball prize. It's just her and her weird looking cat. It's not a good advertisement for living alone with a cat. And
I like the cat.
Yeah, the robot showed up.
Ezra's cat, isn't it? That's Ezra's. Isn't that meant to be Ezra's cat?
So awesome.
What cat is that? Like, what is it? A combination of animals? Is it a duck? Is it a bird?
It's like a fox.
It's specifically called a
What's
Lothal
going on
cat.
back there?
They're native to Lothal. Yeah. They're just cats on that specific planet.
Wait. I need people to come in and rearrange my background too. Where'd you get that, Benny?
Oh yeah, this is Rolls Royce.
A loth cat.
Gary, I'm surprised you didn't have your background rearranged in prison.
Oh, what's up, Royce?
I could be so lucky. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. Gary and I would be cellmates. We'd make the greatest podcast.
Yeah, we would.
Mm-hmm. We every Friday, the last Friday of the month, we get new firearms.
Oh, wow!
Oh, nice, very nice.
That's what we're going to be replacing here. This is Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce is my director of photography. Say hi.
What's up, man?
What's up?
How's it going? What's up?
Royce is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Royce puts it all on the line. Royce got all his camera equipment stolen when they were in San Francisco, Gary.
Well,
you probably sympathize with him.
Yes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, 50 years ago, Gary might have been the one stealing his camera shit.
50 years ago. What an asshole, Ryan.
Sorry, 40 40.
Jesus Christ, like 30, dude.
No,
Benny, I have had.
Yes. When we were
Ryan shows violence with everybody.
Yeah.
when we were reviewing the talkies.
Yeah, I did have thousands of dollars of camera equipment stolen in San Francisco. That did indeed happen right in front of my house when I left my car for about a minute. I walked inside for a minute, came back out, shit was gone.
Okay, so here's the best part. Here's the best part about that story. Best part about that story is that we were in front of Nancy Pelosi's house because I was doing an investigation. I was doing an investigation into the hammer parties going on there, and the Secret Service was outside. So she gets a Secret Service. She's third in line for the presidency at the time, and thank God no longer. But there's a Secret Service car outside, and the Secret Service just sat there and watched our car get broken into, and our camera, all of our shit get stolen. And they just sat there and watched it happen.
Benny, to be fair, that's exactly what the SFPD would have done too.
Yeah.
So, just to let you know.
Anyway,
yeah, San Francisco, don't leave anything in your cart, not even a pen. Just don't.
Yeah.
It's not wise. Shad from his bathroom. Hello.
Hey, I don't think it sounds like I'm in a bathroom anymore.
No.
There we go.
That's much better.
He pinched it off. He's ready to go now.
No, that was Az. He was actually showing some movements there.
No, I was having a wine.
But yeah, look, I'm traveling across UK still, and so I'm in an odd place, but here to have some fun. Ahsoka was boring as hell, and I gotta say, some of the choreography was some of the worst I've seen in Star Wars to this point. There was really bad stuff with those lightsaber fights.
Interpretive combat dance. That's what the chat called it.
It felt like there were moments where it didn't look too bad when they were doing quick shots and you couldn't really tell, but whenever it lingered for a little while, it was pretty rough. It looked very slow and ungainly.
There's a couple of like cliche, horrible things that are in bad choreographed sword fights. It's like the swords or the lightsabers crossing, and they hold each other and just stare at each other for a while. Yep, tick box. They have that really bad spins where they're just staring statically and then suddenly do a twirl. Yep, tick. Got that crap. Massive openings where they could kill the person if they just decided to remember they have a weapon.
There's their weapon up here, and it's like, dude, just
just kill him, you retard,
dude. How did you like at the when the Chihuahua? I'm stealing that from Paul Chato. When the Chihuahua was fighting Sabine, and she had her held down, and Sabine's like holding her back and there's like no emotion on her face. You'd be all like she's all.
I thought they were going to kick.
She was doing that when she was riding the bike, too. She was riding the speeder, and there was just no emotion. She was just like...
With fucking...
Well, every time a woman looks at another woman in a show, I just think they're going to kiss.
The tension is there.
Do you guys know what was the crime
just like
that
Jeremy and Ryan?
You guys know the crime that Ahsoka was wrongfully accused of? They didn't
in
really...
Clone Wars Season 5.
Wars. Yeah.
It was
Jeremy.
Was it with the thing she did with
tortious interference?
She left the
I don't remember if it was the thing she did with Ventress or whether it was the
I like that one as
the stuff with the senator. Do you remember, Jeremy?
What do you?
When
hang
Ahsoka
on.
was cast out of the Jedi Order.
Hang on, just a minute. I've got. Sorry
to disturb you. We're on a live stream right now.
That's why I've been
our show.
Sorry, some breaking Cobra Cast news, Jeremy.
Okay, so what are we talking about? I'm sorry.
What exactly was when Ahsoka got cast out of the Jedi Order? What
was
exactly
season 5?
was it? Yeah, like I can't remember because she was helping Ventress or whether she got accused of that thing with the senator.
She was wrongfully accused of.
Well, hang on. She had an affair with the senator.
Yeah, there was
no.
There was a bomb. Wasn't there a bomb?
No,
at
it was
Jedi?
Ventress.
Election.
It was election interference. Yes.
Yeah, the explosion at the Jedi Temple. And she was wrongfully accused. Anakin had to step in and clear her. And after she was cleared, the Jedi Order
she didn't want to join.
they didn't have any faith in her, so they excluded her. And then,
didn't she the one that decided to walk away?
Yeah, she was the one who she didn't have any faith in the Jedi Order. Yeah,
they were going to welcome her back, and
she was like, nah.
She had lost faith in them because they lost faith in her. So then she walked away. And then her and Anakin out there. But I think it was the bombing of the Jedi Temple.
It was either
the chat probably has answered this like 5 minutes ago.
It was like a senator. There was an attempted assassination attempt on a senator.
The chat answered this like 5 minutes ago. Sorry, chat.
Oh, she was accused of killing Gandalf.
Yeah, she was accused of killing Gandalf.
I was reading the chat to see Sorry,
but he came back.
Was the bombing on January the 6th?
Now we need an Ahsoka where Donald Trump's face is. Mugshot. Ahsoka shot.
But
she was accused of overthrowing the election, and and she told. And the biggest thing, though, that wasn't the problem. What really got her in trouble was that she told everyone to check out Newsmax's report.
Yeah,
and that really sealed her fate right there.
Mm-hmm.
She was done after that.
After one of the temple guards shot her unarmed and killed her.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
One of the temple guards shot Barriss Ophi, and that's really what sparked the whole thing off. Overall, Ahsoka is it's bland, it's emotionless, it's passionless.
Yep.
There's little things that they do to try to be like, guys, this is Star Wars, like the blurry screen wipes and a bastardized version of the crawl and shots that are
tacky as fuck.
Yeah, that was
shots
bad.
that are direct ripoffs from other Star Wars movies. There's little stuff in there to make it seem like, hey, look, guys, we tried. This is Star Wars, but there is no actual feeling in it at all. And I thought maybe it would be a little bit slow, but maybe they'd at least be introducing people that don't know who the fuck these characters are. But I think even by the end of 2 episodes, the people who didn't know who these characters are still have no idea who they are.
No idea.
So they didn't make any progression towards that. And it was basically just, hey, by the way, got another one of these map findy things to find somebody who's missing. You haven't heard this in Star Wars before,
a map that was buried in a Jedi temple that has been there for thousands of years. Somehow tells you where a current guy is hiding.
I know, right?
What's to do with space whales as?
That makes sense.
It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb. God.
Very for the guy.
And they just keep doing it.
We
They
discussed
do the
this on
same
Dream-
thing over and over.
We discussed this on Open Bar last night. I said that I think this show should have started with essentially a live-action version of the end times of Rebels. I think we should have seen Kanan sacrificing himself. We should have seen Hera have Hera's and obviously his dynamic. We should have seen Ahsoka fighting off Vader. And we should have been introduced to obviously Sabine, Ezra with Thrawn. Just kind of get first 15 minutes, 20 minutes of this 50-minute episode, 20 minutes dedicated to that. Then you go 10 years later, however long it's been.
Several years later.
Yeah. And
Several
then several years later.
Years of unspecified time later.
Yeah. About 5, 10, maybe, don't know, years
Writers
later.
couldn't be fucked to go research it.
Then you bring them in. Because then at least you have a little bit of you're giving the audience some sort of background on these characters, because you have to pretty much know the whole of the Clone Wars and all of Rebels at the very least, never mind the couple of episodes that Ahsoka did in Mandalorian, to catch up on exactly who these people are. Because I'm with Ryan. If I didn't know who these characters were, if I didn't watch Rebels, I would have no fucking clue what I was watching or why I should be invested in any of
I
it.
had no clue what was fucking going on.
Well,
I have no idea.
Exactly,
Here's the
kind of
thing.
my experience.
Well, I was going to say, so Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy, they pretended that you don't know who Luke Skywalker is and Princess Leia and Han Solo. You don't know who these people are. They're a myth. And that's how J.J. Abrams himself said, we are going to pretend like the audience 30 years later, they don't know who these people are. So a new generation, so now this is the biggest thing that's ever happened in cinema. And they said, no one knows who it is. Now, again, I don't have a problem with, if you want to watch Ahsoka, like this is in isolation. Yes, earn it by watching everything so you can get the whole thing. That's a great method in general. That's not the method Disney has had. So now suddenly something obscure. Clone Wars didn't get a ton of people watching it. It had a nice little, small audience that loved it. Rebels, even smaller audience. So you're pretending that everybody that's going to watch your top tier show just assume they all know this thing that had a very small audience. It's retarded. And it just shows that these people involved with this process know nothing about what they're doing. They ignored the original trilogy and pretended that it didn't exist. And they pretended the audience didn't know it existed. But now everybody's supposed to know about Rebels and Clone Wars. It's retarded.
Well, how do you don't you love how they're like pandering to the prequel fans now? And the very first line of dialogue from The Force Awakens was disrespectful to George Lucas and the prequel fans. This will begin to make things right. You think that was an accident? That was Jar Jar being cute. You know, and now they're like, "Oh, we need you."
Statement.
I know.
Begin to make things very wrong.
Very, very wrong. Yeah. Now it's 10 years. They've had it for 10 effing years, and they do not know what the hell they're doing. It's been an utter disaster, and this franchise is dead. And as I said in the other live stream, it's like the corpse is gone to the mortician. They've embalmed it. They've painted it up to look nice for this open casket funeral, but it's still a fucking corpse. That's all it is.
It's not even that. It's they've embalmed it. They've put the makeup on it. They've buried it. They've pulled it back up out of the ground. They've buried it again. They've pulled it out of the ground again. That's where we are right now.
Wait, are we still talking about Nancy Pelosi?
Yes.
Very much
same difference. Same difference.
That is what she looks like.
I saw a clip of her the other day, and I was like, "It's been nice not seeing that ugly bitch for a few weeks."
It really has.
I was like, "Damn, it was a better time."
Dan Vask,
more hammer fights.
Real quick, Dan Vask has sent us his pittance from Brazil, the Brazilian pesos, which equals like $2, and he says, "So I gave
great."
So he says, so I gave Jeremy a shout out the other day, and I heard he got 30,000 viewers on a stream because of me. I'm glad, but a thank you would be nice, Jeremy."
Well, Dan, you're correct. I did have 30,000 people watching me, and this is for all content creators out there. I, in the stream, titled it, "I have proof that Dan Vask is straight." And so many people were like, "There's no way that's true."
No, it's not possible.
There's no way it's true. I got
don't believe you.
30,000 people to watch. I didn't really have it. It was clickbait. So if you want 30,000 viewers live, you just title it that, and you'll get a lot of interest because there's no way that's true.
Dan has cornered the market on 70-year-old Christian women. Okay, so that he really has. It's a hell of a
There's
grift.
a lot of them.
Yeah, there is. I don't.
Hey Jeremy, if you wanna do clickbait, mate, this is how you bring people into an Armored Core stream. Here,
I saw that.
This is how you bring people into an Armored Core stream. It's called Armored Core Part 1.
Trunk mugshot DLC.
I ain't gonna lie. I in a minute, I was like, "Yo, what's up?"
I think the thing that triggers me most is that your text is just white. Like a black
it's
outline.
so low effort. It's great.
Like could be any other color.
Well, what are you talking about, Ryan? It's supposed to say "we are fucked" in it, and that'll make it better, right? Yeah.
I'm not opposed to the color white, obviously.
Benny, how many people did you have watching during the Tucker Trump deal? Because I know you were live.
On YouTube alone or concurrently?
Just YouTube.
YouTube 22,000.
Okay. Oh, I had more than Benny.
Very
Holy
nice.
shit. I know, Kirk, you probably had a ton more on Rumble. So I think we had like 40 concurrently, right? Or something like that, 40 or 50.
Yeah, we had 45 concurrently.
Woo!
Ironic.
Hell yeah.
That was wild, man. That was a wild day. I had 28,000 on YouTube, 27 or 28,000 on YouTube. And yeah, it was crazy, man. What a wild deal. But I would click that. I will click on every fucking video that you put that as your thumbnail, and I will watch the whole stream and send as many super chats as I can.
I'm gonna do that. Just have everyone hates Rachel Zegler with that thumbnail.
Bro, I went to a local place to get a bunch of these made just so I could wear them today. And by the way, I know Tim Pool wanted to do this. Like, this is my artist's design right here. Shout out to Donnie Danko. So I got the Revenge one, and we've got a MAGA one. Krista had a pink one made. So Ryan might want to wear that one at some point in time. I'm not sure. But the guy would not stop. It was like a Mexican guy would not stop asking me questions about Trump. He was just asking me everything. And he was so excited. And he was like, this guy's got so much, like, how does he deal with it? How does he, I was like, I don't know, man. He's different. He's built different. He was just so enthusiastic about it. And I don't know if he's probably got fired for printing these for me.
He certainly is built different. 6'3", 215, man.
Yeah, 6'3", strawberry hair.
Woo! Like he carries the weight well.
Strawberry.
They're popping up professional athletes who are 6'3", 215. It's like Lamar Jackson, Fernando Tatis, Donald Trump. And like people are losing their minds over it because it's probably not quite accurate. But like the media is fucking going crazy over it, that they allowed, while they were arresting Donald Trump, that they allowed him to self-report his weight. they let people choose their own fucking pronouns and their gender. I
know. Exactly. Holy shit, Ryan, that's great.
Oh my goodness.
So wait, you don't think he's 215?
Shit,
no.
Like
Hey, real quick, let's
Yeah.
finish the Hi Comics division. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
You can say something else if you want.
No, it's fine. Okay, guys, go ahead.
Legally speaking.
And MauLer. Hello, MauLer.
Hello.
You're back.
That Ahsoka show was real good, huh? How about
That Ahsoka show was something else, man. I am really moved to make another video. So.
I mean, the speculation is just through the roof. What are we going to see by the time we hit the end of the season? Is it going to be
maybe something
both at the same time?
Anakin.
Can we? What about something? That would be nice.
Yeah,
Anything.
maybe
Accurate.
something will happen. I mean, like
everyone's trying to generate interest over Marok, right? Like, oh, who's he going to turn out to be? He's going to be fascinating. It's like nobody gives a fuck.
who's
the only
Marok?
reason I care about that is how mad it's going to make me.
Yeah,
because like if it is Sam Witwer under there and they're doing some kind of like Galen Merrick Star Killer, I'm gonna be fucking furious. Like I'm gonna be really fucking mad if they just do a clone of Darth Maul or an Ezra Bridger, either real Ezra or clone Ezra. I'm just gonna roll my eyes really fucking hard. But if they actually do Sam Witwer as Star Killer, it's gonna piss me the fuck off.
Yeah.
You know it'll be is Jennifer Lawrence.
It's gonna be Jennifer. Yeah.
She's interested in the role.
Ryan,
you're assuming they're males.
Ryan, they are gonna. I mean, they could do the clone thing because of the Heir of the Empire. They're gonna like
exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna pick a little pieces of that.
I've been speculating that for a while.
So
that was like my first thing that I guessed way back when this got announced was that they were going to do some form of, because in the original Heir of the Empire story, Jorah Sabaoth is a clone, but he's a Jedi who Thrawn convinces to work with him. My guess was going to be if they're that long gone, maybe Thrawn has convinced Ezra to work with him in some sort of way, and Ezra was kind of gonna be his dark Jedi. That was one of the first things I guessed about it. Who knows? Maybe they could do it. I wouldn't put it past them to make either a clone of Maul or to just bring the fucking cocksucker back again, to be honest with you, in some way. Like to put him in there. Who knows?
If they were wanting to get attention, they'd probably make it an evil clone of Luke.
I mean, that would be straight from Heir to the
Don't.
Empire as well.
Don't give them ideas.
If they want good attention, they should make a Jar Jar Binks. Because we'd all support that.
Totally.
So I think there's
Ears
a high
flap
chance
down.
it could be Star Killer because think of the idea of like what they want these 200 followers, pronouns in their bios, fucking Clone Wars character as a profile picture, these stupid fucks out there who somehow get 10,000 likes whenever they simp over Dave Filoni. What they want these people to do is like put side by side, be like, oh my God, can you believe they're having Anakin's old apprentice versus Vader's apprentice, Star Killer and Ahsoka face off? Like that's what they want people to do. So it would not surprise me at all.
Do you know right? Long shot. Cal Kestis.
I don't think it's that.
It's not a long shot.
No,
they can do anything.
No, it's not a long shot.
That these motherfuckers put viral clips over, they will do. Like this is Dave Filoni's MO. All right, like to me, I think you're going to see a similar thing that you saw for like Mando season 2, cameo, people you care about. That's how they get people excited by giving them something that they know about and trying to wield it into their bastardized story. So it wouldn't surprise me if anything you think that might make people go, oh my gosh, can you believe this? That's what they want to do.
Well, to be fair, in season 2, episode 5 of Mando and Ahsoka show up, I'm pretty sure all you guys were like, look at this.
I wasn't.
Here's what I'm curious about. Like, so I want to know from a normie standpoint, like, how has this been playing? Benny, have you been seeing people talking about Ahsoka from your perspective? I know you've been a little busy.
Look at the look on his face.
But you probably saw people talking about Mandalorian when it was out, right?
Yes, I watched Mandalorian.
Right.
I watched the first 2 seasons.
Are you seeing people talk about Ahsoka in the first couple episodes have come out?
No.
There you go. that's my point. And that's my point. And because it doesn't seem like Ahsoka is tracking very well at all.
I mean, so it's very interesting. So it's like a very interesting.
She's the lead.
Yeah, right. So it's a very interesting thought experiment because what happens is in internet culture when pop culture and nerd culture bleeds over into politics culture. There was no shortage of Baby Yoda memes in politics, right? There was no shortage of like people doing Mandalorian stuff in politics. This is the way. Ted Cruz tweets it out, right? Like that's how you can sort of tell is when it bleeds over into other when the vat is so full, the cultural vat is so full that it can actually bleed over into different areas of the internet. And so I've seen nothing, right? I don't think that we're going to see Kamala Harris wear an Ahsoka giant dildo whatever thing, right? on her head. And I'm sure she has plenty of those. I'm sure she has plenty of those laying around.
In high school was Ahsoka, actually.
I want to ask, by the way, Benny Johnson is here, ladies and gentlemen. Benny! All right, so Benny, I don't know if you know this or not, but Ahsoka, last minute, it was supposed to premiere Wednesday, and they made it, they premiered it Tuesday at a specific time, which I think is actually a smart move. It's like one of Disney Plus's first real smart moves. But then I started thinking about it. It's like, what else was happening on Wednesday that forced them to move the show up a day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Not the debate, the Trump interview.
I think so that's what's so cool, though, is because you shared a thumbnail with Donald Trump's mugshot. That's our cultural realm of energy, right? Bleeding over into nerd world, right? Which of course all know I love it and deeply respect, and I learn all of my understanding about nerd culture from everyone on this live. But that's what's so neat about the moment right now in politics and news gathering is that this is now the cultural momentum, and like Disney has no cultural momentum at all.
This is the way.
If you look at their stock, the way is down. So
way is way down.
Way down.
And it's especially when you start
$82.
When you start seeing the picture of the face I make when I drive to Chick-fil-A, then remember it's Sunday, right? Just like that. It's everywhere. That picture, it's a massive mistake for them to do it, but that picture is catapulted into infamy. It's going to be everywhere till the end of time.
It's already a timeless image that will never be forgotten and is going to be just used forever.
And they put it up on Twitter. He's got the Peter Capaldi eyes. If you just frame out his eyes, it's the same as the Peter Capaldi Doctor eyes. I'm sorry, got a little too nerdy for you. Right there, you go. Matthew Faxine has donated 400 Canadian pesos.
Michael McQueen, did you just say?
It's freaking French.
Gary, it's a trap.
It's Faccchin. I mispronounce everybody's name. The chat knows this. They're fine with it. Especially French Canadians. No, thanks, buddy. Thank you all for being who you guys are and doing the show and being so honest with us. I appreciate every last single goddamn one of you. Thank you for being you, and hail to the fellowship. Hail!
Thank you.
Appreciate you too, brother.
You gotta feel bad for just if you're a Canadian in general. I kind of feel bad for you. If you're French Canadian, that's a double whammy, man. That's brutal.
French and Canadian.
Shout out to French Canadians out there.
Out of curiosity as well, Ryan, Jeremy, when you guys were streaming about Ahsoka, how are the audience feeling? Because on Open Bar, I noticed quite a few people being like, "Oh, you guys just hate everything. Why don't you like this? This show is pretty awesome. This is pretty cool. Ahsoka was." I was just curious if you noticed any, because there was universal hatred for Boba Fett. Kenobi, people took an episode or two and then they hated it fully.
I think it's all relative because. I mean, obviously, whenever I talk about 99% of things on my channel, most of the people agree with me. I feel like I get a lot of resistance when I, talk about something like, Dave Filoni or something, that I like some of his older stuff. But I also feel the same as for Ryan. When you talk about it, you feel like you get some resistance from your perspective. So it's kind of a split almost anytime we talk about this.
We'll put it this way. 3 years ago, when I made my first Dave Filoni is not the way video, I got like an 80% like ratio on it. I had a lot of pushback because I was calling. I just said that I don't think that what Dave Filoni is doing will be helpful. I don't like his approach. I don't like all these different things.
And just so everybody understands, 80% is pretty damn low for us in our world. Like we're usually at like 96, 97, 98,
that's
99%.
about the average.
Yep.
Yeah, like my typical is 98, 99%, unless I say it might be one too many black people in it.
Or to be fair, if you do a bad review of a Batman trailer.
That's right. Now my Ahsoka review is at like a 95, 96%. So I still get more pushback when I'm critical of the Filoni Favreau vision stuff, but it's not nearly as much as it was 3 years ago. I have been, and I know that my opinion is not the most popular one. I didn't enjoy Clone Wars for a variety of reasons. I didn't enjoy Rebels, but I've been very consistent on that. I've been a Dave Filoni hater since 2008. All right. But to me, this is his shot. I think that there's going to be some people that really desperately want to love it. They still like these characters, still feel good about these characters. And this first 2 episodes isn't bad enough for them to be like, oh, I'm totally out on it. They still have hope. And I guess that's admirable for some people if you do. I think it's misplaced.
Nothing's happened. Nothing's happened in the show. I think that's the thing, is nothing has happened for people to get really pissed at.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Is that nothing is fucking happening.
On the other hand, what is there to get? What is there?
Discerning people. Sorry.
What is there to get hopeful for? Nothing happened. Like,
well, I don't know, Gary.
Okay, wait.
Between Worlds and retcon the sequel trilogy.
You did say that there was another universe.
It's a real easy show to get into. All you need to do is watch 4 seasons of Rebels, season 2 of The Mandalorian, and 2 episodes of the Boba Fett. That's all you need.
7 seasons of Clone Wars if you want to get the story.
And 7 seasons of Clone Wars.
And then you're
up
to
to
date.
know what character she has.
I think the majority of Clone Wars was good. The last season is very hit and miss in certain episodes.
But I thought the last season, you mean the one that released under Disney, the season 7?
Season 7.
But I thought it ended strong, but it was all over the place.
The middle was awful, but the
Lesbian Twins episode was the best.
But the trouble is Rebels, because the first 2 seasons of Rebels is really hard to watch. It's really hard going. It does get better season 3 and 4 when they actually start to do something with the characters, and they start to do something with Ezra, and they start to do something with Kanan, who's been a fucking wet fish the whole time. But I think some kickback at the minute is because some people are seeing for the first time Rebels live action characters. They're seeing Sabine live action, Hera live action, even a little bit of Ezra live action. So I think there's a little bit of novelty for some people.
Yeah.
But if they just take a step back, an objective step back once this is done, I don't think this is going to be viewed well at all. I think it's a show which is going to fade very quickly from their memories, and it'll literally be product wait for next product.
Like every D+ product.
Marvel shows, they always get worse as they go along.
Yeah.
They will only ever get worse. They've never gotten better.
And I think that like you have like Benny, you just talked about how Mando season 1 and season 2, it seemed like everybody was watching that stuff. Like, who's been talking about Obi-Wan or Boba Fett or anything like that? Like, I don't think you've seen any of that, have you?
Yeah, so it's like we're in uncharted territory. This is insane for a guy like me, because a guy like me grows up, I'm a political nerd. Never would the political world ever bleed into the pop culture world. Are you kidding me? Andrew Breitbart said that politics is downstream of culture, meaning that everything that happens in Hollywood dictates what we say and do in politics. And now that's being flipped on its head, where I can't remember the last time that Hollywood actually influenced anything that's done in politics, which is kind of crazy. It's like been reversed. Meanwhile, Mark Hamill, somebody mentioned zombie Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill's posting Donald Trump's, he just posted on Donald Trump's mugshot on Twitter. So it's like the political world influencing the cultural world, which I think is wild. And that leads me to my question for the group. If I may,
sure.
What was the last Star Wars that was relevant? Honest question.
I think
the Mandalorian season 1 was relevant.
Return of the Jedi.
I'd say Mandalorian season 1. Yeah.
Mando season 2.
Not that I liked
relevant.
it, but it was relevant.
I feel those are faded. It might be TLJ. That could be it.
I think TLJ. I'm with MauLer. I think TLJ.
I don't think the question is it good or quality. The question is like Mandalorian season 2 was relevant. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I think TLJ is probably it because of the massive impact that it had on the culture war.
The whole world was talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Mando season 2 is relevant in the same way that Force Awakens was relevant. It's what I said when Mando season 2 happened. The reaction to Luke Skywalker. That was everybody.
I think it's niche. I think it's niche.
I think a lot of people were talking about it considering the way it was released on a Disney Plus streaming service. But
Hail Ripa.
It was all kind of fake. You know what I mean? It was just completely fake and artificial. It was all built off this nostalgia and not because of the quality of the storytelling. So it was a pop that didn't last.
God, I completely agree.
Like, that's what I said back then. I said Mando season 2 is going to be like Force Awakens in a couple of years. That's how we're going to look back on it. And I think that that's kind of what it feels like now.
I got loads of trouble to try to rip that shit apart. Season 2 of Mando.
You feel vindicated, MauLer, a little bit?
I already knew at the time because the Ryan doesn't get better over time. It just gets more known as being shit, right? Like, have you guys rewatched that scene? Like, when was the last time you did?
Yeah, he has dead eyes.
Yeah.
Like, he has no emotions. He basically comes onto that fucking thing. That Luke Skywalker comes onto this thing, doesn't ask, what the fuck's going on here? You guys okay? Are you just Luke?
I just didn't give a shit. I mean, I was so pissed off when they did that.
I was happy about it.
I think the sacking of Gina Carano negated every single aspect of Mando season 2.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, that's politics bleeding over into culture.
Did everything from that fucking scene.
Well, I mean, there's lots of examples of like Star Wars being saved over the last. I mean, since the Rise of Skywalker, Mandalorian was one of them. Gina Carano killed that like overnight. Like,
that goes to Benny's point about that is what you just said. That was politics bleeding into Star Wars again, and I think that was the kind of hardline moment for a lot of people. Myself included, really, where it's like, it really doesn't matter. And I said this back when the Gina thing happened and Disney released a public statement throwing her under the bus, defaming her. Meanwhile, Pedro Pascal said what he said about, Trump voters.
Kids in cages.
Shout out to my boy Pedro. He's a big fan of my accent.
Pedro.
And I think that was the hardline moment for most people from that perspective, because what they did to Gina is unforgivable. And I'm sorry, I don't really like taking a company's actions and holding individuals accountable like that. But at some point, you got to stand up for what's fucking right. And Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni stood there and watched them defame Gina Carano. They just did. And they were involved in the show. They didn't stand up for her.
No.
And at some point in time, when someone's being done wrong completely, you need to stand up and make your voice heard. They failed to do that. They are just as responsible as anyone else at the company. And I think that's.
I think they single-handedly could have turned it around. They could have came out and said, "Look, this is a ridiculous witch hunt." Guys,
go behind the scenes. Go behind the scenes and prevent this from happening. What happened was there was a campaign against her by Lucasfilm employees. They were the most influential. I know a lot of people blame Twitter, but it came from inside. There were people besmirching Gina on their GoFundMes that worked at Lucasfilm publicly. And nobody lifted. So Jon Favreau
had at least 40
Jon
people
Favreau had the Favreau had the power to go behind the scenes and go, I'm fucking walking unless you bring her back. And they would have brought her back. And he didn't fucking do it. And he's got plenty of money. He doesn't need to shepherd Star Wars into a new era. By the way, he doesn't have that much influence. He worked on the show. Kathleen Kennedy still signs off on everything he fucking does. Everything he fucking does, Kathleen Kennedy has to sign. The buck stops with her still. She wasn't away. She wasn't like...
She was banned
for the 5 episodes where she was banned from the set, Gary. Remember, he banned her from the set.
Of course.
Those were Kathleen's out? Is that what you're saying?
Remember when she was for season 3 filming?
Yeah.
And George Lucas, of course, was writing the new next. Oh, shut the fuck.
She'll be gone any day.
She'll be fired pretty soon.
Yeah. I think that when you look at the reaction, though, I think it's important to look at what's happening on X or on Twitter and on social media and realize that there is just a large contingent, a dedicated contingent of fans towards like Filoni and Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff. There just is, and a lot of them are very active on social media. I think it's just because the age range that a lot of people were when they got into that, there happens to be like a decent sized following of people that have nothing else to do but be 23 years old, unemployed, pronouns in your bios, and just tweet about how angry you are that some people don't like Star Wars. So like that is happening right now. It's going to continue to happen. It's going to look from a certain perspective like a lot of people are in love with Ahsoka, where I don't know if that's the way everyone.
Because I was just saying, because there's only 2 episodes out at the moment, and it hasn't gotten bad enough for really people to wake up. It's just been so bland that I think a lot of the normies are just sailing along with it.
Bro, wait till
that's what I was saying.
What was that, MauLer?
Is already pathetic, but people don't notice that as much as character stuff. When they fuck up character stuff, is when people care. Because every single beat in that whole 2 episodes is based on bullshit. Like none of it makes any sense at all.
None.
Oh, 100%.
Just wait till the Hayden episode. Wait till they have flashbacks with Anakin. You're gonna see people going fucking crazy and ignoring
Absolutely, but they're going to go crazy on Twitter, which we all have determined is not the real world. If Twitter was the determined popularity, Captain Marvel would be the biggest fucking movie of all time. Ms. Marvel would have taken over Spider-Man right now. Miles Morales wouldn't be Miles Morales. Yeah. Because apparently saying Miles Morales is a problem. So I don't know if he's not Miles Morales. I'm not really sure.
I
know.
That's his name.
I will make an argument now, though, that I believe Twitter represents the real world better today than it did a year and a half ago.
Sure.
Because Trump tweeted.
No. Because people have a voice now. Like you can call somebody retarded for being retarded now.
People are still getting banned. People are still getting banned.
Manipulated.
Now I can make fun of your pronouns in bio. Now I can make fun of the fact that you're, a soy boy loser. Like you couldn't do that before.
Can we get retarded trending?
Huh?
Can we get retarded trending?
I saw
some people forget there was a chart-topping song not too long ago called "Let's Get Retarded in Here."
Yeah, I know, right?
Yes,
right.
No,
but they had to change it. They had to change it at the football games. It was what did they say?
Get it started.
Let's get it started. Yeah,
R-worded in here.
Yeah, that wasn't acceptable, I guess, enough for football games. But yeah, the Black Eyed Peas, if they came out now, I guess they'd be peas of color. But
You're the best fusion of politics and media. The new world and the old was probably Pokemon Go to the Polls.
Yes.
Gentlemen. We need another one of those.
We got beautifully out of touch.
Hey, the election's coming up. We may get one.
I just want to go. Colored person. No. Person of color.
It's gonna be.
You just said the same fucking thing.
It'll be a thumbs down for me on both.
You just rearranged the words.
Yes, that's all you did.
And it's funny because I had a conversation with a friend of mine about that, and she was like, "Oh no, it's personal color. No, it's colored person. You're just rearranging the words. It means exactly the same thing."
Yeah.
It's so incredibly cringe, though. It is. I haven't, other than Donald Trump, and this isn't me trying to simp. I mean, I'm really trying to be judicial here. Like, nobody in politics has really been able to do the crossover correctly. You guys have seen the cringe Wakanda video from Kamala Harris, where she does Wakanda, Kamala Harris, Wakanda, it is so it's worse than Pokemon Go to the Polls, if that's possible.
Really
it's
bad.
worse. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. But nobody's been really able to do the crossover. Donald Trump has that appeal because Donald Trump wasn't Home Alone 2, and he wasn't The Little Rascals, right? And he wasn't Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
#1 TV show for 9 years, 10 years.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of the superpower, is that he was a celebrity first.
Yep.
And so that's kind of, there were already rap songs written about him before his mugshot.
Yep.
Right. There you go.
That is true.
Yeah.
So I guess when I say what's relevant,
get arrested?
when I ask what's relevant, and thank you for answering that question for me. What I mean is, there are libs who have the same shirt on that I do for a different reason.
Yes.
That means it's relevant. Do you know what I mean? Like, that means that it's relevant. There are both sides talking about it. People who hate it, people who love it. I don't see any of that for Oshoka or Osaka or whatever.
I
see in my timeline.
I definitely saw that film.
I see no one talking about it. Right? So if that's the topic, I see no conversation at all, which means irrelevance to me.
That image is now like the Obama hope image, like overnight. Yep. Like that's going to carry it through in this cult of personality. It's going to be wild.
Trump talk.
It's going to be wild.
So I guess you're right that the last Jedi was something that everyone talked about, right? It was something that everyone hated, some people I guess that does mean relevance for that product.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. Like The Last Jedi was, I mean, it really kicked the pop culture wars into gear. Like there was stuff happening before that, but it really it was the fire that lit the flame of the blue flame or whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, and here we are. Star Wars is still going and still dead.
Yeah, it'll be really.
It'll keep going.
I'm really interested to see when they come out with the viewership numbers, how it compares to like Obi-Wan and Boba Fett and stuff like that. Because I don't know what to expect.
The movie box office is going to be fascinating.
Oh yeah.
Like, well, truly,
if it actually gets made.
I honest to God, I can't fucking wait.
I can't wait either because that's when we'll know how well Disney Star Wars is actually doing because they're not doing well because they haven't released a fucking film since The Rise of Skywalker. This is a cinematic franchise. This isn't
This is the only reason I'm losing weight, Gary. The only reason why I'm losing weight is because I want to live long enough to fucking rip the shit out of the Rey movie. Then I can have a massive heart attack and die.
Living out of spite.
Well,
is like, can I go down? You're like, no.
We got a big scare yesterday, right? Because Dune 2 was delayed, right? And I'm very sad about that. I'm like 6 months. I had to check in on Nerd Cookies, do a wellness check. She's fine, but the Marvels is still staying put. So that was my sigh of relief.
We got an official word. They said they're not. They're definitely not delaying. So thank goodness.
I think it's going to be. I think it's good for the Marvels.
It is.
I don't think it's going to turn it from
IMAX screens.
Yeah,
they get IMAX screens. They don't have the competition.
They'll have empty IMAX screens.
To a success, but I think it's going to turn it from a complete disaster to just a disaster.
So it'll make.
Well, they don't want to spend any more time on it. They might as well get it out of the door.
Dude,
like
it's going to do like I'll say
to compete with Dune. It would have been really funny.
It would have been funny, but I think it still does like really lower tier Marvel numbers. I'm thinking Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 opening weekend, but minus I think 50, 60, 50, 60 million.
I mean, it's got to do Ant-Man, but worse, right? That's what's going to happen.
It will.
I think it'll do. Yeah. I think he'll do 80, 85
opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's. I mean, worldwide, domestic.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really high.
Where are we thinking where it lands total? Because I'm thinking
under 500 million.
500 million.
Yeah, like
500 million.
I say 650. I'm saying 650 with that.
$1.
Marvel.
So everyone here thinks it'll do better than Ant-Man, then, yeah?
How did Ant-Man do? How well did Ant-Man do?
No, I
think it did 470 million. I think
none of the bitches in that movie have the amount of charisma or pull that
and
Paul
the villain
Rudd has.
Did you see the villain?
Exactly.
The villain is like Ronan, the female accuser, the Me Too accuser.
Exactly. What is the
Nobody knows what the fuck is going on in that movie. Nobody knows anybody that's in that movie except for Brie Larson, and they already probably don't like her, so they're not going to go to that. So it's not going to do better than Ant-Man, right?
350 tops.
But they put Ms. Marvel on ABC, and it did so bad.
Yeah, I think I'm with MauLer on this one. It's gonna really.
Yeah, I'm thinking 400 tops.
Oh, there it is. Lady Greenmaster found this.
Oh yeah.
This is change of topic, by the way.
I wasn't trying to change his topic. I actually wanted to get to this earlier, but topics. This is Friday Night Tights.
Topics? I don't
what are you
know.
fucking talking about?
In case anybody was like expecting
We don't
this
know
to be
what
a
the fuck
Marvel
we're
thing.
doing. Just in case anyone needed to be
You'll
reminded.
understand this, okay? It's culturally
Highly organized, my ass.
highly organized. I'm highly organized.
Hardly organized.
Okay, go.
Hardly organized, yeah.
Go, Lady Grandmaster.
Black Panther for white bitches. Open this weekend.
Wait.
I love that movie about the hero who lives in a secret land full of magic and powerful women. Their realm has been intentionally secluded from the rest of the world. Though you can enter this secret realm via certain modes of transportation, after leaving and interacting with the outside world, the hero is faced with questions about their society and why its systems are set up the way they are. A usurper with knowledge of the outside world takes over the land, and he has all kinds of ideas about how they should run things. His sudden access to power would change the outside world as well. In the end, the hero confronts the usurper, who chooses to give up on his own accord, thus restoring the balance of power. The hero convinces everyone that the usurper's ideas were mostly wrong, but they do incorporate some of his principles to make a more just society. The hero then takes steps to become a presence in the outside world. Great movie.
That was well done. It's the white woman's Black Panther.
No.
Thanks, babe.
I think
So
Ken's
great.
more of a hero than Killmonger, going to be honest.
I would like to point out that Gary was the one that brought Barbie back into the conversation.
Of course.
This episode.
Of course.
Again.
Of course.
Yeah, like
I'm Knuff.
Killmonger wanted to kill everybody else in the entire world.
And he only stopped when Black Panther kicked his ass.
He did choose
So-
to see Barbie before Oppenheimer, so I mean, he's really.
Well,
a
I
big
mean,
fan,
true.
So.
You know, considering we're on the topic, Benny, what did you think of Barbie?
Can I throw a grenade into this one?
Yeah,
So,
please.
Not along. So we're expecting. The Johnson family is having. We're gonna be welcoming our third child.
Yay!
Hell yeah, number 3.
So I've been on the road.
Make white babies.
A boy, a
Or baby.
girl, a babe.
Baby boy.
Oh, yay.
Baby boy.
Must replenish
So-
the population.
That's right. His name shall be Anakin.
There you go.
He will hate sand.
my God!
He will hate sand. And there's so much of it in Florida.
It gets everywhere.
So there's a long way of saying I haven't seen Oppenheimer or Barbie. With Oppenheimer, I've heard some people who work with me have seen it and they told me about it. But what happened in Barbie's a great example of something that started a conversation in the political world. And a lot of people, some people hated it, some people loved it, some people said, "Whoa, what are you talking about?" Ben Shapiro famously did like a 70-minute diatribe on it, posted a little thing with his notepad right in front of the
MauLer's all
in front of the poster.
whatever.
So please
I love going
help
to
me.
Ben Shapiro for my pop culture.
I haven't seen it. Barbie crossed over into my world and I haven't seen it. So what the hell is it all about? Was it any good?
Barbie.
Is it overblown?
I personally haven't seen it either, so me and you are in the same boat.
It was fun and cute and very much made for millennial women. There were feminist jokes which you could perceive as like openly man-hating, or you could
Because they
perceive
said
them
they were.
as,
Because they
okay,
said they were. The
you're
director
commenting on
said
this
it. Yeah.
time. You're
That's
gonna
a
have
joke,
to
Gary. It's a
feminism.
wonderful movie that it can mean whatever you want.
I saw it
Well,
with
no, they're pretty overt about what it means. They go out of their way.
Benny, I saw it with 8 guys. So I just wanted to point that out.
And
So-
one girl.
yeah, so
okay.
I can tell you, Benny, that everybody that said that this is, well, not everybody, but a lot of the people that said this is the biggest, most man-hating, garbage-filled piece of propaganda ever also predicted that it would drop off 70% in its second weekend.
Yeah,
Once
no.
people realized
Oh,
that
hey, hold on.
the marketing, I said most people, that
Okay,
once
thank you.
once people realized that the marketing was, they were just being lied to. It never happened. I don't think there was a massive backlash outside of our side of the YouTube entertainment space and some conservative political talking heads.
Yeah.
I think most people viewed it as 70% of women went to it, and it was a Barbie movie that had feminist propaganda in it, which is what Barbie has been since basically the 50s and 60s, when they started making Barbies that were like, hey, look at Dr. Barbie. Girls can
Yeah.
do things too, right?
All you need is the coat, and you're a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt about it. It's not a movie that was made for dudes. It's a movie that's very specifically marketed towards women. I saw it as more pro-female than anti-man. There was some anti-man stuff in it, but I think it was much more a pro-woman movie than it was an anti-male movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you saw it have the massive success that it did. Because instead of taking female characters and butching them up or making them some fucking like stoic, strong female character, that's how they're trying to get women involved in these boy brands. Women don't want that shit. I think women showed up for something that they perceived as very feminine.
Make a
and
chick
very,
flick. People will
Yeah,
come.
this was Barbie was the first time that ladies are actually allowed to celebrate being a woman, right? Because they've been the pop culture, the fucking push by not just corporations, by entertainment, is to destroy women. It's a celebration of men in dresses who were the most. I mean, I just don't understand.
Though there was one.
How is this not the epitome of
With the
misogyny?
redhead.
How is a man coming into a woman's fucking sport, into a industry, and being celebrated for it? How the fuck is that not the epitome of misogyny? I don't know. But women were actually allowed to wear pink, wear dresses, go out as girl groups. They
Get
could
drunk in the
celebrate their
parking lot.
femininity. They could celebrate being women. They could also enjoy a time where it's just so much more fun for them that was free of all this stupid ideology. And that, I think, hit a real chord with women. And I can understand why, because, you know, I know this is going to offend a lot of you in the panel here, and I do apologize for saying this, but women kind of like being women.
I'm sorry.
Whoa,
Hey.
buddy. Whoa.
Yeah,
It's a good thing he was removed.
Kind of like
Come out
Carlos
here to be
Santana.
nice to the Barbie movie.
Get that woke guy out of here.
Get out of here.
I haven't had that bad of a day since Trump tweeted yesterday. Don't talk about that around me.
And I also think it's funny that the character. I also think it's funny that the character that people care about more than any other in the movie is Ken.
Is
Like,
Ken?
Ryan
Yeah, I was about to say, none of us are talking about Ken.
Smart that everybody loves.
Yo, there's like
Ryan
that
Gosling,
spawned
people love
100. That spawned 100 million memes.
And that's
Yes.
why
Ken
it's making $1
character.
billion. Yeah, that I mean, like the Barbenheimer, like they go together. Like it's a girl's movie and a dude's movie. It's about a dude who liked to fuck communists exclusively and give money to communists. But like, hey, he
And give our nuclear secrets to communists.
yeah,
you know,
that too.
Oppenheimer.
But like, it was
But he had
it was a
beautiful
decent
eyes.
movie. It was a decent movie. I didn't like hate it, but but it was such a phenomenon, right? And I haven't seen anything like that in years. And however I felt about either movie, massively successful. Oppenheimer's doing way better than I ever thought. Than it should. A 3-hour rated R movie is killing it right now. It might make 800 million.
Oh, it's gonna make 900.
It might make
It
it's
might
gonna
make
pass Guardians of the Galaxy Volume.
that
3,
would be
probably.
crazy.
It'll be the number 3 film of the year.
The best part about it culturally is this is the last box office success that Hollywood's going to have maybe for a calendar year. Like it's going to be bad.
Hey, I think this is unfair. Blue Beetle is currently doing, let me check, $349 per theater.
That's because of Hurricane Hillary is still raging in Southern California right now. That's what.
Ay, Dios mío.
I like how Warner Brothers made the
Deleting
excuse,
emails.
Like Warner Brothers made the excuse that the weather in LA, the top market for Blue Beetle, affected it, while not mentioning that Barbie, whose top market also is LA, completely was in line with projections.
I watched your video.
Ridiculous.
So obviously the women were tougher than the men. They went out in the hurricane to go watch their Barbie movie, and all those Blue Beetle fans were just too sensitive to go out. I mean, it was bad in Southern California, but like that happens every time water falls from the sky. Like everybody's like, that just happens all the time.
It looked like a normal, like one of the 3 thunderstorms that happen in San Diego.
I know,
year.
right?
Like that's kind of what it looked like. Yeah.
Gran Turismo's preview day beat Blue Beetle.
Whoa.
Wow.
Well, is it going to include all the previews that they've had for the last couple days, or is it just the Thursday?
Just the Thursday.
Okay.
Blue Beetle, I've just completely forgot about it. Like I know nothing from this movie.
Yeah.
All I know is people are mad about one of my thumbnails on Nerdrotic Daily.
There were Mexicans
Why?
and tacos. That's all I can fucking remember.
Let's taco about Blue Beetle.
My favorite thing about that, my favorite thing is that those thumbnails are not made by Gary.
That
one is specifically all Perry Chan, baby.
Yeah, stop the Asian hate.
I feel like we should be okay
Stop
with
Asian
making
hate.
stereotype jokes every once in a while. But secondly, people have no idea. The joke is that the film did it, not that you did it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But
There's
nobody
no
has any
damn.
idea because they didn't fucking watch for the context. Of course they wouldn't. Nobody ever does. They're just like, racism.
Yeah. Once they know it was an Asian person that did it, they'll probably quiet down a little bit.
A little bit.
I like Perry Chan's tweet about Asians this week, where he went, "Holy shit, we all do look like."
So if Oppenheimer's made for men, Barbie's made for women. Who's Blue Beetle made for?
Specifically, Mexicans from Southern California who have family that came here illegally.
Yeah.
Like,
but also kind of Miami.
Vote Democrat
at the same
as well.
time.
So it's basically
It's also for allies.
Oh, is that where the Blue Beetle comes in?
Yes.
Oh God.
It's for, and that's the problem with Blue Beetle is it's not actually a movie made for the Latino population.
No.
Like South Americans are probably gonna have no understanding of what this is. It's specifically border Mexican families where like the parents came over, but the kids are integrated into current culture, so they speak English and Spanish at home. Like that's who it's for.
Benny.
And I don't think that has very broad appeal.
No,
I
think it could work as like reverse or just propaganda to South America to like not come to America. They're like, oh fuck, I don't want to come here. They're like
Kamala Harris film, not
Kamala Harris,
to
do
America.
not come. Do not come.
Do not come.
Oh, I don't have
The
that.
weather's rad.
I want to mention, by the way, we treat Oppenheimer for guys, Barbie for girls. Barbie had a huge mainstream appeal. Loads of guys liked it too, and it's a shame because it's shit for both of them. As far as I'm concerned, women shouldn't really like Barbie that much. The fucking payoff. You telling me like, oh, guys love it when he slays the dragon or the robot king is taken down with all these like hacking and missiles, but the girls like it when the girl rants about how hard it is to be a lady in this world because the men
And
are
gets
so
a
mean and
vagina.
talk about how we're fat. Like what
Well,
the fuck?
see, I'm totally in line with.
Have you watched
MauLer
Simcast?
thinking here. Like, I actually think when we think of Barbie as being negative towards men but a positive, message for women, my opinion, I think it's actually got a very negative message for women because it really the whole theme of Barbie is to emphasize in a really big way that women are victims and insecure. And the whole line of it's impossible to be a woman, that is a very significant moment of the film where they just want to hammer that home. It's impossible to be a woman, and then it doubles down on all these insecurities and stuff like that. Now, unfortunately, I actually think that does resonate with a lot of women. Like it seems like that's the case, and you can kind of see why when someone tells you that your life is really, really hard, but if you are making any level of adequate life with it being so hard, suddenly you're achieving more without changing anything because you're a victim suddenly, but you're still doing the same thing. And honestly, that does resonate with a lot of people. And I think Barbie has that message intentionally, and it's not a positive thing.
You have an entire community that's popped up on social media over the last few years called the Red Pill community that basically does that, but for men, right?
Yes.
It tries to make men feel like they're the victims of everything, like women are out to get them, right? So like there is messaging like that on both sides right now that does appeal to people. And I think that if you would reverse that speech, I think you can have an entire paragraph of stuff that would be relatable to living as a man as well. Like in terms of the differences and what the expectations are on men in society as opposed to as women that are different. Because guess what? Men and women are different. And I think that is a big takeaway from the movie. But I know. But like in terms of like it was a big split, like 70-30. 70% women went to see this. That's a big fucking split in terms of like the difference between genders going to see certain movies.
Well, that's how it relates to what we talk about with Captain Marvel too. That it was like 40% women saw Captain Marvel, which was made for women, and the Marvels will be made for women, and it'll be probably less. It'll probably
like did you guys see that image of Justin Trudeau with his weird son wearing pink going to Barbie? Did you guys see that?
I thought he was fucking that dude. Then I found out he was a kid.
I thought that was the guy he was pulling blood out of and replacing his own blood with. So
I'm sucking the blood out of him.
Wait a second. Wait a second. If Justin Trudeau is Fidel Castro's son, doesn't that mean that Blue Beetle is for him?
He can't publicly go. He bought a ticket to Barbie. Went to
It's Canada's biggest movie, Blue Beetle.
Oh man.
Well, on that note, I have to bounce early today. I have something I have to go to. It's why I'm traveling. But it was good hanging out, talking. Ass. Oka.
Are you at IKEA? Like, are you filming a porn?
No.
It's called stuck in a washing machine over here.
I am filming a porn, but it's a solo scene. But no, I'm in Indiana for a couple days, so just a quick trip back home.
I bet you are.
But yes, but good to see everybody. Good to see Benny. Good to see MauLer. And I will talk to you guys next time.
Later, Ryan.
I'll let him know.
Bye, Ryan. He's off to
filming a solo porn scene. Disney have fallen far, eh?
They have.
Get it? Oh man,
that was a good role.
Sorry, Chrissy. I remember you trying to say something before.
Solo lost money.
Yes, Barbie did make jokes about men, but I think it's possible to make jokes about men without hating men. Just like I think it's possible to make jokes about women and make fun of women. That doesn't mean you hate women or a misogynist.
Well,
so
now that Ryan's not here, we can say that.
What was the last extremely successful movie that made fun of women like directly?
extremely successful movie that
Barbie.
made Bridesmaids? I don't know.
Barbie.
Trying to remember. I never saw
Barbie
it.
did. To me, Barbie made fun of women. It ridiculed women. It ridiculed intersectionality, I thought.
Ridiculed feminism.
I mean, completely against what Greta Gerwig tried to do, but she just exposed how insane they was. And when you expose how insane it actually is, it turns into parody and it turns into satire. So Greta Gerwig put on the screen exactly every single solitary thing that's wrong with intersectionality, because you have this woman who was the fucking the secretary, the personal assistant, or whatever, to the head of Hasbro in the show, and she was fucking whinging and moaning about what it's like to be a woman. You had an unbelievably great job. You had a husband that was learning, even though you've been married for 20 fucking years, that was learning Spanish so that he could communicate better. She had all the right sort of things in her life, and all she could do was fucking moan. And all her daughter could do was be a fucking bint. And it just, it was fantastic.
Also,
she got everything that
world as you can't like discount that. By your logic, we could be like Blue Beetle was the newest film to make fun of women because Susan Sarandon's acting was so bad. It was clearly a commentary on how she did women.
What was the last movie intentionally making fun?
Hey, she had an angry pool boy. Okay, it was an elderly woman and her angry pool boy.
Mr. Blue Beetle, I got a taco for you.
Yeah, so this is what I guess there's a Reddit thread or something about this.
Aw, like a little man.
Reddit hates all of us.
It does.
Passionately.
Yeah.
Hi, Reddit.
Reddit hates themselves.
No, like, Warcraft, so I don't care. You know.
The first time I saw how much hate I got on Reddit, I was like, oh my god. And then I saw how much hate MauLer got. I'm like, mine's not that bad. Mine's not that bad.
Reddit's a cesspool.
It's
I don't know who said it just now, but they hate themselves is the core. And then they express it somehow.
Reddit hates themselves.
They hate themselves. Hey, are you selling those shirts, Benny? Are they? Or is Trump selling those shirts?
I will send you one.
Okay, send me one. I'm large.
I've
got
send me one.
We're getting one printed off.
30 XL.
We're getting one printed off right here.
Wait.
I will say the closest I've come. Yo, what's up?
There it is.
It's just the show. It's just a photo, and you
don't need anything else.
You don't need to put stuff or anything.
No. It's the best photo. It's a perfect photo.
Best.
It's a perfect photo.
It's not Kamala Harris. You don't need to put things on his face.
It's the best mugshot ever. The best mugshot.
There's never been a better one.
It probably
That's
is.
what they tell me. That's what they tell me.
You think he practiced that expression?
We already showed it.
Oh, 100%. Yes,
we already showed it at Lady Greymaster.
Do you think that it's only white people that are upset about this cover image? Because
Probably.
the Latinos that I know have an incredible sense of humor, and the closest I've ever been to being like violently beaten in the state of Florida was when I went to a place called Ybor City, which is a Cuban community here in Tampa, and I went there to ask them if they are Latinx or Latinx. And so I'm standing on the street with my microphone. I'm like, hey, are you, Juan, Jose, you a Latinx? Are you a Latinx? And they took deep, like, abiding offense to that. They were like very upset, right? Because they have a gendered language, and they're upset that people are desecrating their language. Is it their language? And those guys were not woke. I tell you that. Like, they were not woke. And I watched your review. I watched your review, and you said that Blue Beetle was woke.
Yes, it is. Blue Beetle is very, very woke, very intersectional. They try to place it in like product placement. It would have just been a normal bad movie if they hadn't have done that. Like if they just left it out, it would have just been an annoying bad movie. I think it might have done better, but it doesn't matter.
It was constant white person out to get brown person. Like they
yes, you know,
from frame one.
Warfare, the rich is bad. It was very pro illegal immigration, and there was a lot of subliminal messaging.
Well, and it was so weird. It takes place outside of.
Benny, I can break it down for you like this. Blue Beetle's marketing decided to end their big trailer with attacking Batman which is the equivalent of a Republican running for president attacking Donald Trump. That tends to not go that well. And that's exactly what happened. You ended it with calling Batman a fascist. Batman is the most popular superhero, arguably on the planet, definitely within DC. The only other one to compete with him is Spider-Man. But Batman is the definitive superhero. And for you to end your trailer with a Batman is fascist line, I don't care what the context is.
There was none.
There was no context.
Yeah, there was none.
A lot of people at the time, they tried to say, well, maybe there's more context. I think I was like, surely there's gotta be more context.
Batman's
that somebody,
just a
one of the other characters is like,
way too much credit, man.
And then in the movie, no.
And
just
notice how this word fascist just is popping up in our regular pop, not some artsy political film. It's like popping up in our like light pop culture. And fucking superhero movies. And it
told us if Batman wanted to help people, he would have given all of his money away.
Yep.
Because that's how you do it. You give your money to the government, they'll help people.
Yeah.
And that was the lasso of truth.
Disney's
that was
crazy.
It's so
You want to make it better? The Marvels : Wakanda Forever.
Dude, Donald Trump would be so popular in Wakanda.
Yeah,
he would.
There's a lot of crossover. I tried to say that the other day, and people
Think
didn't
about
believe
it.
There's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, they had a wall that was a pretty fancy, magical technology.
Well, kept a lot of people out.
Yeah, that Wakanda is like the border control champion of the world.
Yes. Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, like
Blue Beetle would not be made in Wakanda.
There were entire war. I mean, like Europe came down and conquered Africa and just like completely missed Wakanda.
Watched it all happen.
They watched it all happen.
Well, that's
how
because they had a
isolationist they are.
vibranium shield up or something.
Yeah,
or
that was
I
it.
don't know.
Sure.
No, it's right here. It's right here. This is the image we've shared before, but it's perfectly accurate. If I can get my screen, my whole screen just froze up on me.
Oh, your camera did too.
You're frozen up too.
Yeah. Why are you
Now
getting?
it's gone.
So could I ask? I had no idea that Blue Beetle shit all over Batman. I mean, that seems like incredibly bad business move for DC. Is this a James Gunn thing? Like, is Blue Beetle a holdover?
Okay.
It's a Warner Brothers thing.
It's a
Warner Brothers
holdover
is
thing.
stupid.
It's a holdover
It's
thing,
actually-
but as Ryan pointed out, I can't remember. He's on so many things. Ryan pointed out somewhere, and he's right that James Gunn still has like the marketing decisions do stop at James Gunn. Yes, he's aware of what the trailer's going to look like. He's part of these decisions now on the slow rollout of what is left. So yes, the buck stops with James Gunn. He knew that was
But
happening.
also, like the general hate towards Batman because he's rich has been something that's been going on for a while now. Like, what was that job interview for G4 where someone asked him, what was the question about Batman?
Why do we hate Batman? was
Yes,
the question.
yes, it was.
Why do we hate Batman? And the person replied, why do we hate Batman? And I said, because he's a rich white guy.
Mm-hmm.
And to the girl's credit,
Broken.
and to the girl's credit, who was getting interviewed, she thought I was stupid. So good for her.
Batman has been carrying DC on his back for the last 10, 15 years. Certainly carrying the comics. He's the only comic that sells. The Bat Family's the only comic that fucking sells nowadays. Without those sales, even Warner Brothers would have just got rid. And they still probably will get rid of DC at some point in the future.
Fucking crazy that he's not even a sure thing to make over like a wanted amount of money in movies, right? Like the Joker is apparently more reasonably reliable than Batman at this moment.
Yep.
And that's because of Warner Brothers.
I just don't think anyone's doing Batman right now.
I agree with you.
That's a huge, huge thing.
So should Ben Affleck have gotten his standalone movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's probably
completely
mishandled now.
I still don't want Snyder doing it.
No, it would be Ben Affleck doing
He
it.
should have had it.
It was
10
supposed to
years
be
ago.
him directing it, writing it, and doing it. Yeah, like
And what story would that have been? Any idea?
I heard they repurposed some of it for the Batman. Matt Reeves' Batman was some of that was repurposed into it, but it would have been just a grounded detective adventure. And whether you like Ben Affleck or not, as far as people in Hollywood, he's read more comics than probably most people. because he's an actual comic fan.
I heard that they were going to lean into, because of the universe that Zack Snyder was creating, they were going to lean into Death in the Family. They were going to show the story of the death of Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, yeah, that was going to be part of it.
But I think because Zack fucking Snyder,
dude, he
needs a fucking slap. That apparently was not Jason Todd's costume. It was fucking. Oh my God, Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. Oh shit.
He killed off Dick Grayson.
And he was, dude. Snyder was going to kill off Batman as well.
Have you guys not looked through all of what Snyder's plans were?
They were terrible.
Insane.
They were fucking terrible. They were awful.
That's why I say it's Warner Brothers' fault.
Timeline where he didn't get to make all those fucking movies.
Yeah.
Well, the problem that we have now is Warner Brothers. They keep putting in people that don't know what they're doing, and then when they try to do something, halfway through they yank it out, and then they completely mess it up and try something new. And they just keep doing this over and over.
That hasn't.
And it has not changed.
They're playing catch up, and they're not creating a specific vision and sticking with it. We're getting these stupid things. We're going with an 8-year plan. We're going with a this. We're going with a that. You need to make a singular standalone Superman film. Then you need to make a singular standalone Batman film. Then you need to make a singular standalone Wonder Woman film. And then you go, right, can we interconnect these? If you can, then you create the Trinity movie. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. You've created your Trinity. Or you could even go Batman, Superman, or Superman, Batman, whichever way around you want to do it, World's Finest. Wonder Woman standalone movie, Trinity. Then you bring a Green Lantern movie, a Flash movie, and then you bring in Justice League. That's how you should have fucking done it.
That's perfect. You need Authority as the second movie. That needs to happen. Benny, the Authority.
So fucking real.
The Authority is a knockoff comic. It's a knockoff Justice League, and it's basically a gay Superman and a gay Batman married, leading this like semi-boys universe type of unhinged Justice League. So like
Marvel gave him the blueprint back in Phase 1.
Yes, Iron Man.
Just do that.
Fucking Iron Man, looking like Iron Man, fighting an Iron Man villain, and Tony Stark acting like Tony Stark. Crazy.
Yeah.
Iron Man's still the best movie in the entire thing.
It is.
Because it was so
the
well
Thor
done.
and Cap movies, they're not like considered the greatest films of all time, but they're good pillars for like the whole foundation to be built with.
Yeah.
Because you have to establish your characters, and Zack Snyder never established his characters because he was too busy with the superficial, with the showmanship of it. He tried to combine stories which never should have been combined. You don't combine The Dark Knight with the death of Superman and call it Batman v Superman. It comes out as it did, retarded.
Well,
you don't do those two things as the second movie.
No, those
that's the end of the story.
Those stories are the end of the story. You jumped to the dessert. But that brings us back to why Ahsoka's so bad. You just said introducing characters and stories and character motivation. I have no fucking idea. I watched Rebels. I watched half of Rebels. I know a lot of this stuff, and I still don't have any fucking idea what anybody wants. And more importantly, I don't care. And I watched the first episode of Daredevil before Ahsoka, which was really bad for Ahsoka, which sets up every single character's motivation down to the side characters. You see the origin of Karen Page, essentially. You see the origin of Daredevil. You see the cabal of bad guys. You know there's a Wilson Fisk out there. You know this is coming from the Battle of New York and the Avengers. You know all this shit in an hour, and you're like ready to go. Like you feel like you watched a movie in one episode. Like that is a masterclass of like how you introduce a TV show. And this Disney shit just pads fucking time. And a lot of it's for minutes watched. Like straight up. There's a half an hour of script in these 2 episodes. At minimum. I might be overestimating there.
Because they're
a lot of walking down hallways.
They're not hiring creative talent. They're hiring activists.
Yes, we know it happened because sometimes they let things slip because they think it's funny to talk about or amazing to talk about. When Robert Rodriguez said, when he was making the Boba Fett episode of Mando, they handed me a 15-page script and told me to fill in the rest.
Yep.
And he said it in a way that was like, I'm so excited. I get to do what I want. And we're all just sitting there like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, dear.
Like, that's pathetic.
Which means to Robert Rodriguez, he got to put all of the extra stuff in. And they're also doing that for all of the other directors.
Yeah.
And some directors, I guess, deciding just not to put anything in.
Hey, how's that Disney stock doing?
I checked it recently, but I heard it was down.
Here, I actually have...
Is it $83? I think last time I saw.
$82.47 was the last time I saw it.
$83.36.
It's low. I think it's worse than it was. Ryan said it was worse than it was before they bought Lucasfilm, or before Force Awakens came out. It's terrible right now. And again, I want to disprove something here. Bob Iger says
14 hours ago.
Bob Iger says that people aren't coming to Disney here in Orlando because it's
of the hurricane.
Wait.
No. Because say that again. Because it's what?
It's too hot.
What?
I just want everybody to understand.
It's hot in Florida in the summer.
Listen to me.
How are you surviving?
This is the first time in the history of Florida in the middle of June and July that it's been hot. It's the first time it's ever happened.
Right. This is unprecedented.
Never happened.
Climate change.
But Universal, it's a cool 72 degrees every single day. Like every day. They have their own climate over there.
In
That's why people are at
it's
Universal
72
Studios.
in Benny's backyard. It's all the time.
And,
yeah.
It's never been hot in the state of Florida until this year. This is the first year it's ever happened. First year.
Are liberals just going to explode when it comes to winter? Are they just not going to know what to do? It's like, shit.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, before, like,
outside.
people aren't going to see our movies because they're scared to go back to theaters. Mario makes $1 billion.
Listen, they're scared when
summertime. Global warming.
Except when there's
climate change. That's how that's how they do it.
Yeah, COVID's around except when Spider-Man's in the theaters and Super Mario.
Then
it just goes away.
A lot like riots. It just kind of disappears.
Lady Green Master, can you find that article? This is relevant.
Mostly peaceful, by the way, riots. Let's get that.
There's a lot of talk.
There's
a lot of talk. We got the Hollywood strike going on. We've talked about it a lot. It looks like the two parties were going to talk, and they're just like not even close to an agreement right now. So that's why Dune got delayed. It looks like this thing is going to last the rest of the year, but that's not all. That's not all, because there's a big comeback. There's a shitty, as what did Razorfist? You know, COVID was due for a shitty Hollywood sequel.
That's accurate.
Is very accurate. And Lionsgate, among other companies, has put in a mask mandate for the third and fifth floor of their building. Not the fourth, not the first, not the second. Only the third and fifth floor of their building.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Because they're retarded.
After all, isn't politics just performative theater anyway?
This is all true. They're trying to lay the groundwork to see if they can make it stick. That's what they're doing. They're trying to do a slow rollout. This is all, in my opinion right now, this is all meant to stop Donald Trump from being reelected.
Yes.
There was a university that had everybody mask up and there were 0 cases.
So there was a guy.
I heard airports are doing it too. So yeah, they're trying to.
There was a guy you might have heard of him. He's been on the show a couple times. Alex Jones put out a video about.
Shout out to Alex Jones.
Shout out to Alex Jones.
Alex Jones,
one of the nicest,
always right,
and such a chill guy. Never hit his energy levels are always low. He's just a chill guy.
Chill guy. So puts out a video, and then all of a sudden, like we start seeing. There's another article, Lady Grimmash. You know how to pull it up. There's another article that's saying that cases are up in LA County 35%, which completely contradicts the article that came before the day before, where they said no, cases aren't actually out of control at all.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's right back on again. Does it work? In California, it probably will. California, if you told me California would be locked down in December, I would believe you. I would absolutely believe. That's why I left. A vote for Gavin Newsom was a vote for more lockdowns, more authoritarianism, and you're gonna fucking get it. You're going to fucking get it.
Benny, do you think this is going to pick up? Do you think it's going to amp up this mask bullshit, COVID lockdowns, shut down movie theaters, shut down sporting events? Do you think we're going to get to that level again?
So it's a dangerous game, right? This would be the most dangerous game because the economy is already teetering.
Yes.
And we're already technically in a recession, depending on what you're looking, how you're measuring it. And if you shut down the economy again, well, no one can buy a house right now. So what happens? Total and complete economic collapse. And what you see politically is that it is always the economy. There is no president that gets reelected with a bad economy. It's not possible. And so I don't know how you get. So what they would do is they want COVID back to get mail-in voting, scare little old people to mail in their ballots. And then when you mail in all your ballots, well, you can have all these unaccountable ballots and whatever. you can do shenanigans. I guess let's call them shenanigans. All right,
Yep.
try not to get
tomfoolery.
Well, they call it fortifying, I believe.
You can fortify it. Yeah, that's right. So that's the goal of COVID is to scare the goal of COVID is to scare the hell out of people, put up as many ballot drop boxes as you can, and mail everyone a ballot forever, right?
Yep.
And that was why it was designed, and that was the effect it had in 2020. That was actually able to effectively get the Republican legislatures in Wisconsin and in Michigan and in Pennsylvania, which is insane because in Pennsylvania you had a big Republican legislature to agree to mail-in voting, which is bananas. Bananas. Anyway, what I'm saying here is this. What I'm saying here is this. It won't work twice, right? Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Republican states, and I think even some middle-of-the-road Democrat states are going to be like, holy shit, guys, no. I mean, no. Like, we can't. We won't, right? Yeah. And so you'll have, the majority of states are red states in this country, and so you'll have this vast majority of states that are like, we're not going along with this shit anymore. And also, fuck you fascists. Not Batman, actually, the real fascists. The actual definition,
the actual meaning of
the definition of fascism, right? Which is our government, military state fusing with private corporations, right? And then they're pressing us. That they're going to say no. And unlike last time, where you sort of have Donald Trump in the White House, and he can put his shoulder to the wheel with some governors and everything, and get everyone on board. No one will be on board this time. So you'll have New York and California and a handful of little small blue states way on the extreme coast doing just crazy shit, but like the rest of the country won't go along with it. And I suppose like it'll be pseudomasochistic because the more the harder they hold on, the more people leave and go to Texas, as Gary did, or I went from Washington D.C. down to Florida. They're gonna lose all of their population, and their population is where the source of their political power comes from. We talked about illegal immigration with Blue Beetle. Well, illegal immigrants come here and they're like, where do they want to go? They don't want to go to these states. They want to go to places where the economy is running, where people can actually like live. And again, I'm a deep advocate against illegal immigration, but nonetheless, all I'm trying to say here is, dude, like it would be suicidal to try and pull COVID 2.0.
Yeah,
it's not going to work.
And the way it would affect Hollywood, were the king fortifiers, they were absolutely for it. They were some of the biggest a-holes out there. Yes. Now they're like, no, it's
Imagine all the people.
Yeah, they're dialing back things like those rules for the Oscars. They're dialing back most of the DEI rules except for the Best Picture. That's probably going to be gone, and you're seeing them fire all their DEI. I don't know if they can't afford this. The theaters are screwed anyway just from the strike. If this rolls into and this is a big if. I don't think it'll happen. Not even in California. Like even parts of California weren't playing along, to give them some credit. Certain counties were like, F no, we're not doing this. But if they did it again, they're dead. They're dead. And now, like even this, like within the Hollywood system, these corporations that all of these woke freaking writers and actors were supporting to the bitter end are now asking for them to be broken up. Like during all this, they're like, oh, well, all of a sudden we need to start using some laws on the books to. Where were you when Disney was buying Fox? Which was the worst fucking deal ever. I mean, it might bring Disney down, which would be kind of funny in the end. But where the fuck were you then? So what you're asking to break up Hollywood, but you want a fair deal from these major corporations you're asking to break up. Now, how in the fuck do you think this is going to work? Exactly.
They're irrational, Gary. You're expecting rationality. There's none of that there.
There are states, including the state that I currently reside in, that actually passed laws that made it illegal to do mandates or lockdowns. It's actually illegal to now do a lockdown in Florida. So what are you going to do?
Hell yeah.
We have articles of the Constitution. Federalism does exist. There is a 10th Amendment. So you're not going to be able to supersede the fact that it's illegal to do a lockdown in Florida. So what are you going to do?
Do you believe that there is like a push going on? I mean, we all kind of know anyone categorized right of center is to be seen as like an extremist, right? A domestic terrorist, all that stuff. Do you feel like there's a concerted effort to push regular people into say, oh, we need to, well, if this happens, it's all over. It's war. It's civil war. We got to take our country, whatever that means. Do you feel like there's a concerted effort you know, maybe like on January 6th, to push certain people to do certain things so that they can justify, you know, martial law or like a really intense ramping up of everything basically, and justify it by, oh, well, look at this.
It's called problem reaction solution.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're 100%
It's in their
trying to do it.
handbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, but we're not the extremists. Like, the extremists are the ones chopping off their children's genitals. The extremists are the ones that are agitating World War III. The extremists are the ones that are selling out billions of dollars of my child's future to a country that no one can even point to on a map. The extremists are the ones that are forcing experimental injections that give you myocarditis for work. Those are extremists. Extremists are the ones that want me to put a piece of cloth over my mouth like a sheep just to prove that I have fealty to their power. That's being extreme. That's actually legitimately insane. And hopefully, God help us, we will look back on this time period and go, those people were monsters. Those people were demons.
Sadly, I don't think that's going to happen, Benny.
Maybe not.
I hope
Maybe
so.
not.
I hope so too, man. 100%. But
That's what my brand's about, you know? And I know a number of people here speak out, and that's why I love y'all. But that, I mean, you know, that's what extremism actually is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep.
I think it will be. I think it will be because, like, we've seen in a lot of different areas, the pendulum is swinging back. People that were in the middle that were just kind of hanging out, and this is for pop culture and politics in general. People are just not paying attention, are paying attention now, and they're going, wait,
That's right.
I don't like that. I don't like these movies that I've been watching. I don't like these things that I'm hearing that my kids are being taught. I'm going to get more involved and try and change things. So I think they were counting on people not caring and not being connected, and I think a lot more people are now.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the ultimate goal. Go ahead.
Extremism is trying to put your political opponents in jail because they hurt your feelings.
Yes.
That's extremism. That's extremism. You absolute Marxist monsters.
Oh,
And,
no.
you know, if I can paraphrase, we don't do that here. We don't do that here.
No. Corporate DEI initiatives are facing cutbacks and legal attacks, and yeah, a lot of the articles I've been reading about the strike is like one of the worst victims of the strike is diversity.
Whatever.
Speaking of diversity, I gotta call my good buddy Benny out. Benny, you were wrong about something.
What's up?
Kamala Harris, right here.
Oh,
I'm sharing my screen.
There we go.
She's a big Ahsoka fan. I don't know
Wait,
what's up,
really?
dude. You got too many people. There we go. Right there. There we go. She's a big Ahsoka. I sucka. Shout out to the Legion of Memers.
Oh, release the McCracken.
That's good.
I sucka.
I don't get it.
Politics is indeed downstream from culture.
You know,
I'm gonna. Oh no.
We are reaching new power levels now that memers have a hold of AI art. Like,
Yes,
look at
glorious.
the beauty, what they can create, and the power that they have.
In the palm of their hands.
After watching Ahsoka, it's yet another good argument for AI. A very good one. Ahsoka.
I think a lot of it's already involved. That's why it feels so dead.
Just so everyone understands, that's just it's not a joke about like anything. It's just telling the story about how she became the vice president of the United States.
Dude, there's so many layers to that meme. That needs to go into the meme Louvre. It does.
Yeah, so many lightsabers.
So many useless lightsabers.
They went right through her and she didn't die.
Yeah.
Right back up the next day, back on her knees.
I don't think they went right through her, but they were definitely inside of her. But
yeah. She definitely walked funny after that.
Jeremy, you watch Rebels. Did you ever like Sabine as a character?
I thought Sabine was fine. I didn't have a problem with she did kind of, there were definitely kind of SJW vibes to her. It wasn't full blown, but you could tell that the pieces that were being kind of laid out there for. It didn't go full forces female bullshit with her, but you could tell that they were flirting with that idea. Now it's
that's kind of where they want to go with it.
That's where they've gone.
Well, one of the places that definitely going is the cringe of combining Jedi and Mandos. They keep doing that.
Yes.
Stop
They
it.
keep being like, isn't it cool because you guys like Jedi? If you guys like Mandos, what about a Jamando or a Mando Jedi?
I never want to see another fucking Mandalorian in my fucking life.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
don't want to see lightsabers anymore. I'm fucking tired.
Well, the other thing too is
this show was like, yeah, you're the worst person. You have no Force ability. Here's a lightsaber and go learn the Force.
When she turned up with the Mando outfit and the lightsaber, I was like,
what was
fuck
that?
off.
And you know what they're going with this because they've already had the confrontation between her and the other apprentice, evil Sith. So that apprentice lady, the Sith one, she's gonna kill the master, and she's gonna become the boss lady, and they're gonna set up a final confrontation between Sabine and her, and Sabine is gonna overcome and become a super powerful Jedi and beat her in the end, and that's gonna be the.
Sabine is very resilient because she told us that she was very resilient.
Hey, Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong. She wasn't Force sensitive in Rebels, was she?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, she just had the darksaber, and that was basically it.
And the thing was like, well,
what is the Force, anyways?
So yeah, who the hell cares, right? Who the hell cares, right? But with
Wells is a penetrator.
See, Rebels to me, I watched Rebels I was not plugged into Rebels as much as I was Clone Wars. Clone Wars
wasn't
actually, like Rebels, I had the same, like the animation turned me off. It was very childish. It felt very light, and who'd we lose?
We lost Benny.
Oh, Benny gone.
It was a kid's show after all.
He'll be back.
He's run away to watch Rebels. He's so excited.
Gotta get caught up.
But I'm looking at the casting of Ahsoka, and the only casting just on appearance on Hera seems very unlikable. It doesn't Hera was a decent character in
She
Rebels.
was sorry guys.
Yes,
it's all right.
But this chick that's playing her in the Ahsoka
Mary
series,
Elizabeth
Winston.
I cheated with Ewan McGregor on his wife. And then married her later.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Remember his daughter? I mean, like what? What was that?
Didn't they meet on Fargo season 3?
I think they did. Yeah, and like whatever. I'm not judging. Like whatever. I mean, you're Hollywood. You're gonna cheat.
I think it was Birds of Prey.
But remember his daughter like threw him under the bus on a fucking Instagram post after it happened. Yeah, it's like, ooh,
I'll judge him for that.
Yeah. Well, it's Hollywood, dude. Don't get married. If you're gonna go there,
we shouldn't give them an excuse just because it's Hollywood. They're full of dirtbags, and we should.
He said, "Don't get married.
Don't get married." Yeah, don't commit if you can't commit. Jesus.
Oh,
to quit.
I am all down with marriage and making babies. Go do that.
And if Gary said it's Hollywood, so whatever, I'd assume he's saying they're all fucking monsters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't assume he's saying it's Hollywood, so they're allowed to be evil.
Despite what some people think, I actually did work there for a couple of years, and they're monsters. So we can. They're monsters.
That would infect you like the symbiote, and you were like,
yeah. I wasn't doing that great at the time either, but whatever.
Well, so she played Hera. That's their Twi'lek, right?
Yeah.
Again, another plank of wood character. It's I'm a general.
Oh, she really had a general.
Is there any other?
Yeah.
Hey! I'll give her a little bit of slack. She at least emoted a little bit. As compared to like Captain Marvel, I mean, there was some emotion there, but
not when she was chasing that ship. She's
trying to be
personality was I'm a general.
Yes.
That was her personality.
She's like, you're gonna tell me what I want.
What's a good go for it?
Yeah, that stuff was dumb though when she was doing that.
Hang on.
She was browbeating that dude.
What was that, MauLer?
When Obi-Wan is blocked off from Qui-Gon, right, and he's like sweating, stressed out, heavily breathing, watching his fucking master basically likely going to get killed because he knows how good Darth Maul is. Compare that to when Green Lady is flying away. She looks out the window and she sees clearly two fucking Sith attacking Ahsoka, her bestest friend. She literally is just like,
I know.
She could literally be dead, but she knows as well as we do that she's never gonna fucking die.
MauLer,
I haven't.
MauLer.
Really
MauLer, wait.
I was just saying, I tested your theory. I liked your fucking Marvels post without even thinking about it because I saw it. Like it was instinctively. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Sorry, MauLer. So she's flying away from the Corellia shipyards, one of the main shipyards for now the New Republic Where's the fucking security? Where's their backup? What the fucking authorities? Like, somebody just stole a major hyperdrive that they weren't supposed to be building that was too big, and it's just got one general, and a Jedi. Like, where the fuck is everybody?
I still thought that was crazy as fuck, though, that he said they repurposed all these things for new ships, and then she's like, yeah, well, we're not building anything big enough to repurpose that. It's like, okay. We still have it. Like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
No,
but has Hera seen the size of a fucking starship?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really clever, and she knows
huge.
They don't format the same way. We could never use a superstar destroyer's hyperdrive for anything.
Those engine mounts don't fit.
That's so stupid.
It was dumb.
It really is, because we actually saw one of the size of one of these New Republic ships at the beginning of it, and that thing was massive.
It was pretty
Like,
big.
I think that hyperdrive could fit in that ship.
Well, and because of JJ Wars, like everything only ever gets bigger anyway. The Radis, I'm pretty sure they described as like the biggest capital ship for the Republic in history. So
Was that supposed?
It's so fucking dumb to be like, we don't have any current ships that can support a giant hyperdrive. Well, we'll fucking make one.
Yeah.
What do you? It's like she
You just
implied
did
that
the
it's
hard
Not
part.
only that,
Can
the
you
Star
guys?
Destroyers are still perfectly functional. Why aren't they just repurposed to the ship?
Yeah, but Shad, the
Because
superstar
it's a symbol of the
looks
Empire.
evil, okay?
If you watched Mandalorian season 3,
job it.
if you watched Mandalorian season 3, they talked about not wanting to repurpose the Imperial technology. Remember? Oh, no, you don't. No, okay, no, never mind.
Well, do you remember in Mando when they steal one of the ships, they put a big Mando symbol on it. The paint job would have taken like 10 years.
I know. MauLer, they had a giant space stencil, and they just
graffiti.
Had a little Sabine up there spray painting it.
Right.
Can you guys?
Calling it a
Can you guys educate me as to the size differential of these places?
Ladies.
What size was the Disney Star Wars hotel? Because I look forward to booking a room there soon.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's gone.
That's a Spirit Halloween now.
But it was about it's about the size of Az's room. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, you're not going to be able to do that one, Vinny.
How
I'm sorry.
humiliating! I mean, talk about a story that sort of bled over. I read that one. That was
kind of dead.
Kind of.
over
Okay,
with.
so yeah, they might tear it down. They might actually tear the fucking thing down.
Are you serious?
Drunk knows way more about it than I do, but I think if they tear it
Jay
down,
is all about that.
like they can't repurpose it for some tax reasons. But again, Jay knows more about it than I do.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Yeah, his
Happy
week-long
birthday,
birthday
Jay.
continues. Shout out to Drunk 3PO.
Yeah, he's like a chick. He has to have birthday palooza, right?
Yeah, it's a whole month leading up
Chrissy,
to in the post.
do you have to at least?
Man, no one got me any presents, you know.
Chrissy, you have to at least admit to that. Like, women don't have just the birthday on one day. They're like, oh my God, I just need to celebrate
like
me
birthday
for an
month.
entire month.
You should have a birthday week. I fall somewhere in the middle. Like, don't put so much pressure on the one day to be everything.
I agree with Chrissy. Halloween should be the whole month.
I agree too. Hey, there's already spooky stuff in Buc-ee's.
I felt peer pressure to send you a $100 super chat last week when I wasn't here because everybody's celebrating your fucking birthday. And everybody's like, oh, Jeremy's not Friday Night Tights. He's going to quit like he did the High Council. So I'm like, fuck, I got to send $100 now.
Yeah. And then
Jeremy's got time for CobraCast with .FAT.
Not
was there
FNT.
one word that was misspelled too? It was like,
Yes.
I was driving.
was the last word,
That's
too.
what I thought when I saw it. I was like, he has to be driving right now.
I was driving.
Jeremy's always.
Happy birthday, Gary.
If Jeremy is not streaming, he's driving. That's all you need to know.
Very true.
I
jerking
firmly
off.
believe that
jerking off.
no man should celebrate his birthday after the age of 21.
Hey,
what's the point?
Okay, Benny, 50 is kind of a bit. You're like, I made it, but after that, I completely agree with you.
You just hit the milestone.
No. After 21, like 30's fine, 40's fine, 50's fine, but after 50, done. You're done. I'm done.
Take an excuse to just do whatever the fuck you want.
No, it's just I
I will say, as from a streamer standpoint, I might start celebrating my birthday again.
He's doing it for the money. Like my favorite day of the fucking year, mate.
I know.
I thought 50 would be the age where you start celebrating every year because, every new year you're just...
No,
Made it again.
Shad, it's because every day every day is a birthday that you wake up. So it's a birthday present. So there's no way I was supposed to make it to 54, dude. It's kind of a
my hate of Ray is
time.
going to carry me through.
Hey,
it's like George Takei and William Shatner. Neither of them is going to die because they hate each other too
so much. Well,
so that's the only thing keeping them alive.
One's a legend, and the other was a day rate player. I love how I love how William Shatner points at all. He's like, "You made $60,000 on Star Trek because you were an extra," which he was.
You had lines. That's it.
By the way, I have a mugshot shirt on, but it's not Donald Trump's.
Ooh.
I was.
You gotta show that off.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey.
He looks way cooler than I do. So that is
that a mixed tease? Can we get that?
I want to get this shirt. What's this?
This is the face of fear, and I just cut off all my hair because somebody said they wanted to like give me their sack lunch or some shit.
Like, what did they call you? Like Goldilocks or something? Like,
No, when I first got there, it's like, "Hey, Goldilocks, want some of my sack lunch?" And I'm like, I am in the wrong place. This is bad.
Right now.
I love the idea that he sits down next to like huge burly guys covered in blood or whatever, and he's like, "So Star Wars, what are we thinking?"
like,
Did you hear they're making a new Star Trek show?
I am interested, Gary. Did you meet any other nerds in there? Like, you know, Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings
they're
or-
nerds in jail.
Magic the
No.
Gathering meetings, you know?
Jail nerds.
No, no.
Oh,
No,
meet a
there
lot
was
of
no
men
there
that
was
call
no
you
nerds or Asian people in prison. Okay, so,
No Asians. Wow.
no,
Really
I didn't
polite
see one.
people.
Well, that's racist.
I know. Well, sorry, you know, it
No,
was
the
one.
prison system is not
It's the
you,
most
Gary, it's
racist place I've ever been. It was racially segregated. Each race had their leader. They would meet once in a while. There'd be race wars. It was really fun.
Sounds fun.
Really? By the way, a prison is a pocket universe of how the world would actually
Yep.
be if there was
It's a
an apocalypse.
microcosm. It's a microcosm.
That's what would really happen. Seattle, Neil Cuckman, wouldn't become a gay trans utopia. Okay, just saying. Just
Seattle tried,
It would be
and it
more like
turned
the
into
Warriors.
prison.
Yeah.
The
Warriors.
I was want to do this earlier, but I just want to take a minute to give a massive shout out to Young Rippa.
Oh,
Yes.
Whatever you need, Rippa, whatever you need, you guys go
Got your back.
check out his video.
You want to talk about that for a second, Jeremy? You're free to do so. If not, I can.
I don't want to talk too much about it
Kind of
because
a confusing situation.
the pieces of shit that are involved with it.
Well, one of the
I
pieces
don't
of
even
shit
wanna-
tried to take this channel down. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a couple of people out there that have been overly obsessed with Young Rippa's success. Very jealous that Young Rippa has created an entire comic book universe and a company that has transcended not only our community but just our little corner of the internet in general. And he did it on his own money. He put all of his money up and did this from the ground up. He didn't rely on other crowdfunding sites. He did it the most badass way, but the ballsy way and a very gutsy way. Most
he bet on himself.
He bet on himself.
bet on himself.
And when you do that, you're putting it all on the line. You're putting your family's financial future on the line. You're putting everything you've worked for on the line. And when you finally get to that point, then you got people just trying to stir up problems and trying to question why you're doing this and why you're doing that. And right now there's a big legal battle going on by basically ankle biters, which is something that Rippa has referred to in the past. Basically, Rippa's an ankle biter with me when we're playing Mario Kart. That's a different discussion for a different time. But he's got these guys that have just continued to go at him, creating problems and problems and problems. And it seems like there's a lot of gay ops going on. There's a lot of manipulation going on. Rippa kind of broke down the whole thing. And I would urge everybody to go to his Twitter video, check out all the full context of that, or you can go to his YouTube channel and check out all the full context of that. But I would just let you know that one of the individuals involved in this situation tried to false flag this particular channel because Alex Jones was on. That same person then went viral a few weeks later and then accepted an invite on InfoWars.
Because he's a fucking cloud chaser.
Yeah. He goes out of his way to pick fights. He claims that he criticizes art, right? Well, no, he attacks individuals on a personal level, picks fights with them, right? And then plays the victim whenever he, steps in it because he always puts his foot in his mouth.
It's basically what happened. It was either people think it was Vito and or Dick, and then there's some people who think it was one of their fans that basically like control or concern trolled this. I guess they're called the International School of Ministry or something like that. It's somebody else with another group with a copyright of ISOM or something, and basically got them, like baited them into copyright suing.
Well,
Eric.
it's copyright versus trademark too, right? So I'm sure Eric is covered on all that, and I'm sure he took care of all that beforehand, which means there was a search, which means, and he's also been doing business for over a year under Rippaverse Comics using the title ISOM, which makes it very difficult.
No one would ever confuse a
yeah.
Christian pamphlet maker with
Hey,
Eric,
you better sue the city of San Antonio because there's an ISOM street here. So
I confused a church with a brothel once, and it got very awkward.
ISOM literally is a Greek word.
Too?
And like it's a word that I think actually means diverse, obviously. But you can't, like, good luck trying to trademark a word, even if it is another language, and stopping everyone else from using that singular word. And so,
it also is a different there's a different sector, so you can trademark words.
You can like
verticals.
Friday Night Tights is trademarked. By the way.
And Jay, the drunk 3PO's name's getting dragged into this. Imagine trying to go after Jay. I mean, with all the reason I brought Jay on to Geeks and Gamers in the first place was all the I don't know how to get involved in all that stuff, and it's not really my thing to do the charity stuff, but I always appreciated what he did with that, and he knows that world, and I always appreciated that about him, and that was before he even had a following and all of that, and before he ever got all the shout outs to build his channel, like Az so eloquently called out. But yeah, I mean, bringing him into it, it's just nonsense. I've got Jay's back. Rippa called me yesterday or a couple days ago before he dropped all this, and he's like explaining it to me, and I just said, yeah, it's just like in the town, man. You walk in the door, you say, hey, we got to fuck some people up. I can't tell you what. I can't tell whose car we're taking.
Let's go.
It's that when it comes to Rippa, all you got to say is when and where, man. I got your back. So whatever he needs, I've always got his back, and I hope many of you will do the same, as I know many of you will.
Yeah. When you go out to do your own stuff, this is as Jeremy said earlier. When you try to create. Benny's creating alternative media. We're doing alternative entertainment media. Eric and many others are doing alternative comics. There is going to be gay ops. They happen all the time, with every situation. They've happened with against this channel, against every channel that's been here. I'm sure Benny's had to deal with it, and it comes from within and without. It comes from within and without, and most of the time you just fucking ignore it because, like, if it's just like verbal criticism, who gives a shit? I don't care. But when it starts to get into
far worse than that,
it's a bitch-made argument by bitch-made people.
Yeah.
Well, to add the context, right? They're going out of their way to legitimately harm his business.
Yeah.
And so what happens is whoever emailed this other ISOM group, right? That email address, of where that email came from to encourage this lawsuit, right? That same email address also emailed another group that Eric was associated with, which is giving comic books to kids. Basically, it's a charity organization, and the link that Eric brings up, and look, this is actually pretty darn damning and compelling, right? Vito, he posted a tweet saying, we asked the charity if they need more comics, and they said they are already overloaded with donated products. So they're basically trying to say, Eric isn't really going to be giving these comic books to the charity. Again, what relation does that have to having a criticism with the comic book? It's not. They're going out of their way to try and discredit him on multiple levels, right? But he said, we asked the charity, and they share an email with that email address blocked out. The thing is, though, Eric was able to get a hold of that full email chain, and guess which email is on that chain that Vito shared? It's the email address of this supposed person that reached out to the other company.
Yeah, well, but here's
we're doing the same thing on both companies.
But like, we don't know. We don't know who's responsible for it. And that'll get worked out between Eric and whatever. We'll go watch his video. Whether it was those guys or one of their, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so,
I don't care.
And just again, understand, like Rippa from nothing and 2 crowdfunding campaigns, and 1 year later $6 million in crowdfunding to pay to continue to keep up with the insane growth. And that's what a lot of companies, startup companies, sometimes they catch, they just catch fire all of a sudden and they can't keep up with the growth. And that kind of ends up collapsing them. He's putting everything into this to try to keep up with that massive growth. And it ain't easy. And so when you got people that are literally just trying to create problems, we got
jealousy. Jealousy plus clout chasing equals bitch made.
Yes, it is 100%.
Yeah.
So incredibly sad. And I don't know much about this. I saw his video, but these legal fees can cost a fortune.
Yes.
And it can really hurt the creative product because there's only so much money, right? Like that.
Well, I mean, if he wins the court case, it can really hurt somebody else.
Yeah. You want to you want to compete with Eric, make a better comic.
Eric's one of the smart. Eric is one of the smartest people I know, and he doesn't do anything without thinking it all the way through and having all of his ducks in a row. He's the last person you really want to get involved in something like this. But so
Eric's probably a much better guy than I am.
Yes,
I would take their fucking houses.
Yeah.
I would take your fucking house.
That's what he's trying to do to all of his employees.
Yep.
That's a quid, to me, that's a quid pro quo.
It's collateral damage. That's what it is.
Yeah, so that's kind of the latest. So just go support Ripa.
Support Ripa.
Most of you already have, but I just wanted to give him a big shout out and let him know we got his back. And
he'll be all right. ISOM ain't going anywhere. I mean, it's only going to help. Okay. Well, every time you do this, it's kind of like arresting Trump. Every time you do shit like that, it's only going to fucking help you fucking idiots.
It only makes Eric more powerful.
That's not going to stop him. That's not going to, when people were like doing videos every day on Jeremy, it only helped. It only helped Jeremy. Okay.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. I need to get back to. I need to get back to my racism and sexism.
You do. Well, no. You need. I'm sorry. Since Ryan's not here, I'll just sit in for him. You need to make videos, Jeremy.
And then you need to delete those videos, and then you'll get the people
streaming.
He deleted the video.
I'm having way too much fun streaming right now. I'm having a blast.
There's this thing called clips, you just clip them.
Actually, so Krista started actually editing some of my clips. She's been posting them to Instagram. She's starting to make some YouTube shorts. I'll get back in the game. Look, Rachel Zegler almost brought me back. I was like, might be a new Brie Larson right there.
Well, she is. She dethroned Brie and Simu. I would say. I'd say she's the single most. She is the face of insufferability in Hollywood now. Put her face with that unibrow on everything, especially when it came out that she went after Gina. Like I was even like, she's 22, whatever. She's fucking retarded. Oh, she went after Gina. Fuck this bitch. So
it really is sad that they're on strike because we're not getting more of her in the press circuit man. More clips.
Oh, dude, it's only like imagine how much Ahsoka has been helped by like none of the actors or the writers can even fucking say a word about it right now. And you know what stupid shit they'd be saying about female empowerment. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am personally being robbed as a YouTuber and a content creator. This is gold that I'm missing right here. But like,
we need your clips.
Yeah.
We've never seen women in positions of power in Star Wars before.
This was the first woman-on-woman lightsaber fight in live action or some shit like that. It's
Star Wars is very patriarchal. So it was really good to have a woman in power.
Yes.
Disregard Leia.
Is that true? Walt Disney, he was like a Nazi or something. And like he made Snow White a long time ago.
Weird.
And Peter Dinklage doesn't like this, and so we're gonna replace all of our dwarves with unemployed.
Peter Dinklage is that fucking meme from that Tom Hanks film. It's like, look at me, I am the only dwarf now.
But Gary, is that true? This was the first female lightsaber fight.
My wife's favorite Christmas movie is Elf.
Live action.
And Peter Dinklage, like Peter Dinklage, whatever.
Well, no, Dinklage is actually an accurate.
His entire scene is making a joke about him being an elf.
Yeah.
The entire scene.
Yeah.
I like Dinklage.
No, Dinklage is accurate. Have you ever seen his red carpets before Game of Thrones? He was fucking shit-faced for every single one of them. What were you? Oh, Shad. So you were asking,
it's got low tolerance.
is it the first woman-on-woman lightsaber duel? That's what somebody said. It's like I can't say I haven't seen all of Andor. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I hunted for it.
Because if it is, that doesn't. It's not a compliment. Because
No, in live action. In live action, by the way.
Yeah, I think in video games there might be, but if this was the first female lightsaber fight in live action, that was some of the lowest level dog crap choreography lightsaber fighting I've seen.
Try a little bit better, hun, next time.
I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Because I'm trying to remember if they had those.
The last female on in that fucking show, though.
No, there's some light scissoring going on.
Yeah.
In Ahsoka D's nuts.
May the force be in you. Oh! Set lightsaber to vibrate.
But it wouldn't be. I'm confused.
I'm very proud of my title, The Her to the Empire, because that's what she is. That's what this is. Let's woke. That's my boy, John Campia. He'll be on FNT any minute, guys.
Invites out.
Invites out.
Door's always open, man.
Door's always open. Blair de Blair for $100. Let me get this over here so I can read it properly. Today is my birthday. Is everybody's birthday in August now?
Hey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Blair de Blair. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that sounded kind of good. Odin, you want to sing a song for me when I lose a bet?
Oh, he's conceded, has he?
I haven't conceded. I haven't conceded. If the Marvels gets delayed, I might be in a bit of trouble. But I'm on your.
You'll let me sing "Living on a Prayer"?
Yeah. I'll say it was me.
It'll be uncanny, the resemblance.
Also, rest in peace, Crypt Daddy. That's right, Crypt Daddy.
Yes.
Rest in peace, brother.
In peace, man.
Yeah,
that was fucking sad.
That's a tough one, man. Yeah, man, just a good dude. And what Crypt Daddy, I've talked about this on Main Event, but what Crypt Daddy, what he did was like he showed you like it didn't matter how much whatever you were dealing with in life. There's no such thing as victimhood. You just you could. And this dude, he was awesome. He had a unbelievable personality. He's so damn funny, and his circumstances were not favorable. And you've got these able-bodied people that can literally do anything, and they're just sitting around on social media crying, whining, eating themselves to death, wanting the government to hand them everything. He was a legend. Yep.
He was really good at showing the absurdity of our reality and holding that mirror up. And
he basically made everybody look like a pussy. So
he was great. He would just be like, "Oh, I love listening to people complain about having to sit for long periods of time." So good at just like, I think people like him exist to show those of us that are able-bodied, like before you think about complaining about the regular shit you complain about, just look over there at him and know it could be so much worse. He had the best attitude, and I know he would call us all fags for being upset about him.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine complaining when you can't take a regular shit. So, I mean, that alone.
And it's crazy because he would and he still had a girlfriend, and it was amazing. He would make fun of guys who
rub it in. Fucking
I still have a girlfriend.
Hey, your fucking ass.
Rest in peace, Crypt Daddy. He made a couple appearances on our show, and we're proud to have him. Man.
Yep.
And I'm really lucky and privileged that I was able to be at his album recording, which was in late May. I was there, and Frank and Cecil and a few of us from Compound Media, and I think that's out now. So if you guys want to download it and listen to it, I mean, he had a joke on there that I was even saying, I'm like, this is going to get him canceled, because he was the first person to record a joke on an album that had to do with Epstein Island and stuff with kids, and he made it hilarious because of who he is and how he delivered it. So check out his album.
Now we got a number one song.
You will be missed.
Yeah.
Mentioning it. I saw him open for Chrissy. He was having mic issues, so his mom had to hold the mic while he told mom's sex jokes. Legend. Oh, that's awesome.
The dynamic with him and his mom was so
He
funny.
called his mom a whore while she was holding the microphone.
That's great.
That's a great mom, though. Like, seriously, to be able to be up
Yeah.
there and to have that kind of, back and forth.
Ryan, the proper Ryan, for 100 British pounds, proper money. Star Wars fans must stop groping onto hope. The cuts and bruises inflicted by the prequels pale in compared to the bucket of acid Kathleen Kennedy threw in its face. It's permanently disfigured and on life support. It's time to pull the plug. You're right. You're absolutely right,
100%.
Ryan. It needs
Let
to be
it go.
Put it in the vault. Forget about it for a few years or 10.
I agree.
Let it go.
I'm done with Star Wars.
Yep.
Can't do it. It's
Are
terrible.
you supposed to be calling it shit Clown Wars?
Shit Clown Wars.
Shit Clown Wars.
Well,
Clown
the
Wars.
one
It's not even worth that effort, MauLer, to be honest with you. That's
the
too
one
good
thing
for
that
it.
has changed is our mantra has been all roads lead to Jake Skywalker. No matter what we see from this timeline, it all leads to the same place. But that's not true anymore. All roads lead to Ahsoka Tano
It's
now.
funny.
Yep.
Where the fuck is Luke? He should be in Ahsoka.
I
About
agree.
it.
I think
Please,
once
please don't. You'll just ruin him
Well,
more.
no, but
'Cause
like
that's the issue I have with
think about
this
this.
character.
Let's think about this logically. There is a Grand Admiral who is kind of formidable still out there, and a Jedi Knight knows about it. Wouldn't you fucking tell Luke? Like, wouldn't that be kind of important?
Nah,
running
he's
around.
secondary now.
He's a male. We can't have one of those in the show.
Chilling out with goblins on some planet. Like,
By the way, they've
Yeah.
already destroyed fucking what's his name anyway, Thrawn, because they basically cucked him in Rebels.
No. Well,
Yeah.
like when you
just,
said destroyed
just,
what's his name, I was like, you mean everyone?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to
everyone.
fit in the.
Just
Luke,
read
there's
all
no
of
It's like
them.
Luke
fill in
in
the
it.
blank at this point.
just wait. Just wait.
Oh God, I know they're gonna do really fucking dirty this time.
Disney.
Oh, but they've already destroyed Nick
could
Fury.
always get
They've
worse.
already destroyed Nick Fury. It couldn't possibly get any worse after Captain Marvel. Oh, never
Couldn't
mind.
possibly get any worse. Is the thing we say.
And
Yeah.
here we are. And
Yep.
here we are.
The bottom of the barrel just keeps, going lower.
Getting
We think we've
bottomer.
reached it, and
It's getting bottomer. It's a power.
Bottomless to the pit.
It's a power bottom. It's a power bottom.
And it just keeps fucking us.
The Arc Spartan for 50 Canadian pesos. This is all hail Friday night. Tights. Sorry, there's a little pause there. Friday Night Tights. That's such a good song. And you know what? I've got gay friends, and I had a good gay friend sing the theme song for Friday
That's
Night
not what
Tights.
it told to Jeremy.
Yeah. I was actually talking about Dan, but Jeremy, is there something you want to say? Is there something you want to tell us, buddy?
All that happens here is me and Az just like, who's gonna call who gay first? And he preoccupies me. He
Hey,
called me
MauLer.
gay first.
Only MauLer's gonna get this. I just watched the episode with Oz and the werewolf, and Xander accidentally outs that one jock dude in Buffy. It's so
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
He goes on a whole speech and he assumes he's talking about being a werewolf. and
Yeah,
he's
he was
gay.
trying to get him out that he was a werewolf, and he's all, "I'm gay." He's all, "Oh, I was not going for that. Whoops."
Yeah, he thinks Xander's gay too.
Hey, yeah. And to be fair, I always thought Xander was a little gay. JT.
He's always a little fruity, wasn't he?
He was. Is he?
Gary, before you start this, Benny's got to hop.
Benny.
Yes, I got pregnant wife at home with the kids thing.
Whatever.
So
What? I don't
got,
need excuses.
got hopping. Got hopping.
Go take him.
I love y'all.
Love you, man.
Hey, let me just give a big shout out to Benny. Benny's looking out for us. He's connecting us with people. Benny's awesome.
We
So
love
he means everything he says. He backs it up. He's a good dude. So I appreciate you, Benny.
Thanks,
I
Benny.
wouldn't know anything about anything if it wasn't for everyone on this live. So thank you all for educating me. And we'll keep crossing over.
Yeah, we are.
How's life?
Let's do
How's
it.
life?
Yeah, we got to get together soon. I've been to his studio. We visited. Me and Ryan visited. It was awesome. So I'll see you soon, man.
Benny, you're welcome to Texas anytime, man.
My man.
Hey, we might be working something
If you're
out.
ever in the UK,
Or if you want to come to New York City, you want to come to New York City.
Who in the fuck would want to go to New York City?
We cross the streams. This is how we change
mean,
culture.
yeah,
we
yeah.
cross the streams. It's
Yeah,
great.
man.
I live in
Next
New Zealand,
time,
so it doesn't
next,
matter.
Yeah.
you all
New
know this,
York.
and you all know this. Final thing I'll say: I will not stop until Donald Trump is on a Friday Night Tights. I
Hell
won't.
yes.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I will
Hell
not
yes.
stop.
Hell yes.
Good, because I've got questions, Benny.
I can't
Questions
wait.
about Home Alone 2.
Yeah. Okay, so here's
Little Rascals.
Here's the dirty secret. Here's the dirty secret about Trump. And I've been backstage with Trump, and I've flown on Trump's plane. I've talked with a guy privately. He would much rather talk about that. I mean, I kid you not. You think he wants to talk about policy, national debt, the border wall. He loves it when you ask him about celebrity. He loves it when you ask him about what he actually did for 50 years, which was be a professional celebrity. And to be a Hollywood, he enjoys that kind of conversation, and that's where he's the most comfortable. You ever seen him on the couch with Oprah? He gets uncomfortable talking about politics. He'd rather talk about entertainment.
Yep.
And so this would be perfect. I'm telling you, Gary, I have a plan.
All right.
I have a plan.
Let's do it.
We're gonna start with Don Jr. and then we're gonna work our way to the big man.
Yeah.
I want to hear his opinion on Barbie. That's
key. We need to know this.
What do you think of Ahsoka?
Hey, Don, my wife used to do Kimberly Guilfoyle's hair
Ooh.
back in the day, but she was Mrs. Gavin Newsom back then.
Back in
Yeah.
A fascinating world.
It is a fascinating world.
So we like Gary. I got thoughts for you offline, but I would love. I have a couple of guests that like are from this world, but more like the actual elected members of Congress and Senate that would just be perfect for the show. That would be like that would actually be good though, and interesting. And they actually oversee the Motion Picture Association and stuff like that. So
all right,
that'd be kind of cool.
Hell yeah, man.
So we can grill them.
We will talk.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're coming on here.
Why is it all gay?
Tell me.
Why are you gay?
But it is gay.
Benny, I love you, man. Follow him on Twitter,
brother.
Follow him on YouTube.
Thank you guys. God bless you.
Take care, brother.
Yeah.
Benny Johnson. I love that guy
I'm
so
also
much.
going to leave. I'm going to take that time.
You're going to edit my video.
I got a video to make, and it's about Ahsoka.
Did you
Must
get my
be nice
email?
to be quarter black.
I did.
Did you get my email with the crawl? Did you get to read?
Yes,
Dude,
I did.
I responded to it
Did you get
immediately
it?
and sent it back to you.
Oh, you did? I didn't see that.
Because I need that too.
Okay.
Details. We'll talk
I'll
about
read
this
it.
later.
Did you make some?
You know when you called me up and you said, I'm going to send you this email. And I said to you, Gary, as soon as it comes through, I'll deal with it immediately and send it back.
You did say
That's
that.
what I did.
I just, for the record, Az did what he was supposed to do, and thank you for doing it. I'm an asshole, so I'm gonna look at it real quick.
On stream, I'm gonna look at it.
I've got
I'm
work.
gonna go
I'm
work on that video. So I'll
multitasking.
see you guys later.
Oh, I can't. Oh my God. There's. By the way, hail Rumble. There's lots of Rumble quotes.
Is there?
As I will take a look at it, and so will Garrett. Well, Garrett, you should have gotten the response because I emailed it to both of you.
Did you respond all?
I think let me have a look.
Well, I'll forward it to you.
Send it. Give a phone.
It's for my
I'm gonna
next
work on this video.
Az will be thanked in the description. He is helping me on my Ahsoka review, and I appreciate
Just
it.
to Gary. Just went to Gary. That's all.
So just like Sabine with the map, I needed the artist's eye from Az to figure out how to mess with the ball. That's what
He
I
had to
needed
go
to
into
do.
a tower and look at it. On
Why
a
did
thing
Sabine need
that
to
helps
figure
him
out
think.
that fucking map? Why? Okay,
Because it had symbols on it.
Dude, a Rubik's Cube was more fucking complex than that fucking map.
I know, dude.
Did she even turn anything? She just turned it over.
She turned 3 of the circles.
No,
She
she
turned 3 of the circles on it to line up lines
MauLer.
that you would be able to see
Yeah,
kind of go together.
It was funny as fuck because you're sitting there waiting for her to discover something, say something out loud because the writing in this is so fucking good. And what she says is 3 figures, 3 heads, or 3 faces. Do you know how long it takes for her to say those 2 things? Like 10 years.
Like 10 years. And you know how she figured? MauLer, did you catch how she figured it out? She just got rid of the room and looked at the fucking floor.
Yeah, but she just like turning
Yeah.
the fucking pieces
Yeah.
until the
Yeah.
lines match, like Shad said. That's all she did.
Yeah.
A fucking baby could have done that.
I know.
But apparently,
Star Wars
it was
is
the only
made
way
for
the
babies.
robot can get her to come back to Ahsoka or something.
I know.
Like that.
Oh God.
So dumb.
It's so dumb.
I'll
Bye.
Going now.
Like,
Bye.
wait, one bourbon, one scotch, one
Beer,
beer.
yes.
Oh my God.
Hey, I like that song. One bourbon, one scotch, one beer. Where's Odin?
Dated myself.
Oh, I love how Odin comes on for like 5 minutes and then disappears.
Took 2 hours to get here. He was here for 2 fucking minutes and he's fucked off.
Hey, you
He's
know
a
what?
diva!
Somebody had to be the biggest diva of FNT, and it's OMB reviews.
It's just a man who understands his worth.
You know what? That's right. That's right. Shad, I can't wait to see you in a couple weeks, dude.
I can't wait, man. I'm so hanging out.
Dude, that
I'm having
poster,
the
show that
greatest
poster
time.
you guys have.
Take
Oh
a lot
yeah.
of pictures.
MauLer, what'd you say? Sorry, I cut you off.
Someone I don't know if you caught, 'cause it's really strange and specific. You know, she's wrestling with the robot, and then the other robot goes into a room and like hits the machine to break it. So obviously, I was thinking first thought of like, well, that's not going to stop the hard drives from existing. All you've done is destroy like the controls or whatever. So she's still got the info. But ignoring that, she goes like into, I don't know if she grabs whatever, but she gets stabbed. Then she wakes up in hospital and she says, you know, like, oh, do you have any record of where the planet's thing? And she's like, no, they destroyed it. It's like,
But
how
she
would
wouldn't
you
have
know?
seen it. She was already outside when they got destroyed.
Well, but even if she did see them do it, it's like, you don't know that it's not working. Someone should go fucking test that shit. But they just give up on that immediately. They're like, whatever.
There's
That's not
so
gonna
many
work.
things they give up on. I'm waiting for the series to. There's like a bunch of stuff I caught MauLer, but we got to wait till the series is done. But I know they're gonna forget. They're absolutely gonna forget because they do it all the time. It is.
When they said they require the eye of Scion, I fucking sighed out of my like.
The
body.
eye of Scion. The eye. The eye
of Sauron.
The eye of Scion. It's totally different. As
Scion is different.
It's
okay?
totally different. The poster.
While we're on the topic of rebels, so suddenly self-destruct devices on robots are mini nuclear weapons.
Yeah, I know. That was so
Holy
stupid.
Freaking crap! The blast radius of those things were insane. Since when?
Why would they want to self-destruct? They want the map.
Yes, they're going to destroy the map by doing it.
Right. That makes no sense. So if they can't get it, they have to destroy it and everything in its path.
Right.
That made no sense.
And
They
half the
haven't even
fucking
lost
planet.
yet. There was 2 robots that were planning to attack her, and then they're like, "Oh fuck it."
Yeah, the robots are like, "Hey,
Dude,
could
they
you?"
called it too early.
Well, yeah, they're like, "We are going to self-destruct and then wait for the bombs to come out of our chest and give her plenty
We're
of
gonna
time to
announce
run
it to give
away."
you
So
time to run
fucking
away.
stupid.
And
it's a house of cards.
I know,
it's a
dude.
house of built on bad ideas. What
It
it is.
really
That's
is.
all the show is. It's one bad idea after another. And I'm not talking about like the writers essentially. Everything they've done is dumb. Even the whole thing with Thrawn and Ezra being in another galaxy, odds are those two should be fucking dead.
Well, yeah, they had to mention time because even in Star Wars, where things are a little flimsy, we'll just say as far as like the science of it, you can't have a galaxy be in another entire fucking galaxy and expect that like that 25,000 years could be. I mean, it could be way more than that. They're dead. They're fucking dead.
Yes.
Real quick, you know what? It isn't a bad idea. Is our UK? Well, it might be a bad idea. You never know. Our UK meetup, which is coming up on the 6th. We're going to be there. Unfortunately, it's sold out. Critical Drinker is going to be there, joining us.
Nice.
Disparu. But this is the poster done by the great Vector Visual. You want to follow him on Instagram. He's fucking rad. He did our Las Vegas meetup stuff, and he's really fucking good.
It looks epic, though.
Chad, you got a license for that sword?
Well,
A license.
I actually don't, but I'm gonna buy
I love the smell of Vegemite in the morning.
Buddy.
I was tempted to bring over some real swords, but I figured I'll try and buy a couple while I'm over here, see if I can do that.
I'm gonna do what Carrie Smith is doing over in Europe right now. I'm gonna like get as redneck and as American as possible. Last time I tried to fit in, like this time I'm now I'm going as a Texan.
See me, I'm just going native because I'm already mostly British anyway, being Australian, and also my own heritage is from here. So I'm dressing in the medieval clothes and everything.
There you go.
50% British, 50% prisoner.
Okay.
British prisoner.
British prisoner.
Yes.
No, British reject.
prisoner.
British
Prisoner.
reject. Reject. You fucking Your fucking emos kicked your ass. So
No.
Emos.
A bunch of emos went down there and started screaming.
Forces. Emos are pretty.
You're gonna
dangerous.
like totally leave the UK. We found a new country to be in a bear.
We're gonna have these emo
Drastic
emos.
shortage of dark
emos.
eyeliner. So
The great
emos.
the great emo war.
Like maybe fire at them or something. I don't know.
That's a badass poster, though. I dig it.
I dig it too.
It is good.
Let's read some soups.
Vector visual is awesome.
Vector visual rules.
Super.
Oh wait, I wasn't. So okay, back to Arc Spartan's 50 Canadian peso super chat that we started probably an hour ago. All hail Friday Night Tights. Question for Gary and Ryan. Ryan's not here, but I will answer for him. What do you think was Dorne's letter to Aegon the Conqueror? That is a good. That would take too long. I will do that. I will answer that question next stream because I have got a couple theories on that. But I think it was basically a letter threatening that they're going to drape and murder his sister. I think they were going to do horrible things to his sister, like ungodly things to his sister.
Make her watch Ahsoka.
If you want to board,
Dorne didn't fuck around. They didn't like the Valerians very much. That's because they ran from them. That's the whole point. Is they came over here running from them. They don't fucking like them. And they have they come from I'm blanking on their name now. The Royne, and they possibly had Basingstoke. That's that the place with the little roundabout. It's got a little roundabout. Yeah. And they might have had water magic. I know Preston Jacobs doesn't think there's any magic in A Song of Ice and Fire, except George I almost said George Lucas. George R. R. Martin. At least George finished something.
There is water magic in it, yes.
I have water magic.
There's magic.
Every time I go to the toilet. It appears.
Yeah. JT for $50. R.I.P. R.I.P. Donovan. Appreciate FNT for introducing me to that guy. Had many great laughs following him. Thanks for all the good times. You guys, I love having the show to look forward to each week. Much love. JT, hashtag pineapple belongs on pizza.
I like the wall
For the record, Jeremy clapped about that. So it does.
I clapped about the super chat because I'm all about the super chat.
All about the super chat.
Yes,
you are. You think Trump likes pineapple on pizza?
All about the Benjamins. Do I think Trump likes? He probably doesn't.
Didn't he say what he thought at one point? I thought that came out as like a news story or something.
Trump is I think he has like food tastes like Jeremy. Like it's really basic bitch 6-year-old.
Real recognizes real.
Kiddie menu stuff.
I want some fast food. That's it.
Real recognizes real.
Holy fuck, Odin's here.
Oi! Yeah, I just woke up from my coma after watching Ahsoka. So
man.
A coma. There you go.
You need to put your feet up, mate. You need to just
Ass
relax.
coma.
Ass coma. Rambo Rawl for $50. 50. Hey guys. You mentioned theaters showing older movies and how they dropped the ball with Lord of the Rings. Yes, they did. I'm in a theater about to watch Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary screening. Hell. Think they're messing up because they're zero marketing plays till next Thursday. Yeah. Well, those are usually like Fathom events, so they don't really market those a lot. Warner Brothers, if they were fucking smart, since they pushed Dune, would do a full-on push to do all 3 extended cuts for I would say a month-long release from November 10th to December 18th, which is the 30th anniversary of Return of the King. It would fucking kill. It would do. You would just do nothing but make money. Get the actors together. Just a little quick Q&A or whatever. It'd be easy. Be fucking easy. So
by the way, Jurassic Park, super awesome and special, because that's my birth year movie. That one. So
wow.
I'm gonna ask if you guys have got that sort of thing ever on your mind. I know Gary's would be like Citizen Kane or whatever, but We can go to the next person.
After
That had sound, MauLer.
Where's
Okay.
your movie? Gosh, they were all
Yeah,
so
I looked it
recent.
up.
1988 for me.
Oh, fuck off.
Barbie is my birth
You
movie.
just got here and you fucking pissed me
I think
off.
Easy Rider. Right? That came out in
sort of-
69. 69.
Ooh, Roger. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? 88.
Mm.
Let's see.
Die Hard.
No, Blazing Saddles for me.
Oh, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I'll
Barbie
take
for
that.
me.
Ooh, Twins.
Let's see.
But
So
that old
did Superman 2 come out in 79?
No, came out in 81.
80.
It's listed as 79.
Superman
Let me
2?
search.
No. Superman
Yeah.
came out in 78. So it's
Yeah,
either
the fir-
80
yeah,
or it was
yeah.
81. It was the same year as Raiders.
81. Okay.
Yeah.
1980.
I'm looking.
Okay, my
79.
birth movie looks like
61.
it's
Rosemary's
Dude.
like what the fuck? Yeah, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is all I see. The Italian Job, Easy Rider,
oh cool.
Butch Cassidy.
I
got some great ones.
Silent movie for some reason. Metropolis for me.
Underworld, Last Samurai, How to Lose a Guy in
Casablanca.
10 Days.
Last Samurai is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So this is films released in the year you were born. Is this?
Yes.
Kangaroo
Yeah.
All right. So I got Back to the Future, baby.
Whoa.
Oh, the Goonies. Look at that.
Ooh, that's got to be
Yep.
top tier right there.
Commando. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Great
Commando.
movie.
Man.
Love Commando.
God, I'm looking so much older than all you guys.
I guess for me,
Rambo.
Oh.
First Blood 2. Man, there was some great films released in my birth year.
I say I got Rambo 3 my year, and
I'm gonna have to go with Alien.
Beetlejuice.
Alien would be my birthday. Yeah,
There you go. That's proper. That's proper.
Chinatown, Young Frankenstein.
I got some
Love Young
doozies.
Frankenstein.
Alien for me. I'm so
School
good
of
with that.
Rock.
The Force Awakens.
Well, Demolition Man is actually in mine as well.
Oh, that's a good one.
Bob Hoskins Mario movie.
I'm gonna stick with For Her Majesty's Secret Service. There you go.
The Haunted
Lost
Mansion.
Oh, Tombstone came out in '93 as well.
Gary couldn't pick a movie in his birth year, so he had just picked the first movie available that was created after he was born.
Yeah, Birth of a Nation.
Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yes. Oh, some of you
shout
probably.
out to Paul Rubens, Big Top Pee Wee.
Who here knows what Birth of a Nation is about? Like it's an actual movie. Who here knows what it's about and what it's famous
Yeah,
for?
let's not go into that.
Let's not go into it. But it's one of the first movies. It's one of the first movies, and it happens to be about a bunch of Ryans running around. So.
Yeah, pretty much. And some of them are dressed as other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a ghost movie.
They're dressed as ghosts.
It's
Ghosts
not.
of the
They're dressed
Confederacy.
as ghosts. Yes. Vets talking to parts for a total of $60. 60. Vets Talking just reached 10,000 subs in just 8 months. That's pretty damn good. It's faster than I got to it. Thank you, Chief Canal Comics, Culture Casino, Drunk 3PO, and everyone of you that's been on and helped the channel grow. Part 2 says, thanks to our vets and friends like Raster and Dermy, who regularly bring content both humorous and gay as fuck. And thank you, Gary. Without FNT, I would never have been here. Finally, as always, Jeremy is a bitch. Here's to 10,000 more and beyond. I sometimes call Jeremy up and call him a bitch. So hey,
I kind of prefer it, to be honest with you.
But then I realized I called his wife accidentally or something like that because I boomered it. Yeah, it's not. It's awkward. Super awkward. Predinsky for $69.99. Hail to the fellowship in the chat. Tried watching Ahsoka last night, but and by try, I mean I watched the first couple of minutes and was already bored and started to fall asleep. Star Wars is dead. Have a great rest of the show, guys and gals. And it is dead.
I was falling asleep too, and I was like, is this just because I'm old or it's late? But I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Probably old and lame is,
no, it was
not you being lame, but the show being lame.
Really fucking slow. Like it is paced.
Yeah.
It is paced like an instructional YouTube video, but not as entertaining. You know, it is.
Well, you didn't like the dramatic pauses?
Dude, Gary, you know what it reminded me of? Fucking last episode of Game of Thrones.
Yes. Yes. We just need to pad time because we got nothing.
Well, you guys keep, and again, I haven't watched it, so but and I'm not saying it's comparable to this in terms of overall quality, but the Batman. One of my problems with the Batman is that I feel like that movie could have been chopped down like 30 minutes just based on like slow dialogue and slow like moments. Is that
the important difference
that?
is that there's good stuff in the Batman.
Yeah. Well, but I'm talking about those gaps of just like moments of just like,
Yes.
can we just speed this?
It's
whole thing
filled
up?
with that. So this goes across. This isn't just Lucasfilm. This is all at Disney. I don't know about Willow because I didn't see Willow, but they feel the need to show somebody leaving a building or a ship or arriving at a building or a ship walking down a hallway, walking from a room in a hall. Like, you only need to do like little snips of one of those things. You don't need to show people leaving and coming all the fucking time. We figure it out. You got to.
Well, how else are they going to pad out the runtime?
Well, that's exactly it. But there's a thing called a mental map, what you're supposed to create. For those of you who said I've never gone to.
I gotta say.
For those of you who said, for those of you out there who said I've never been to a film school or a film analysis school, there's a thing called a mental map that I learned in my aesthetics class that you need to present to the viewer through either dialogue or showing them something so they are familiar with the world and filling in that world. Star Wars, the original Star Wars, New Hope, was one of the greatest films ever made when it comes to the mental map, as far as like just establishing a world with very little dialogue, just showing you stuff that feels lived in, and without giving a lot of details, but you already feel filled in. This one is the exact opposite. Like, you don't know what the fuck you are.
It's kind of like The Witcher, where you're just so confused. You're like, okay, sure. Whatever that's going on right now.
Absolutely appalling for its world building. Absolutely abysmal.
Well, it's one of the things they wanted to do away with when they started up the sequel trilogy. They were like, people don't like as world building as much. They don't like as much politics. We need to move on with just action, with physical and practical effects. Well, I mean, to be fair, as it did work for about a year, two years-ish. I mean, everyone thinks Force Awakens sucks now, but it did work a little bit for a little while.
Well, I mean, you've got more context, though, for The Force Awakens, in all fairness. Instead of having it as the standalone, you've got much more context. So you can understand how people are like, I was one of the people who was like, okay with it when it came out. But I'll never see it again now because of the context of everything else that's gone before, gone after.
There was a shared thought
like this, really badly.
There was a shared thought that when we watched that movie, it was okay, it was fine, it's good, and I would very interested to see where things are going. Yeah, but it was all like, all right, only if this thing can actually deliver.
There was so much goodwill going up to that. Like,
exactly. I was all in after.
Dude, I was all in when you talked about this earlier, Jeremy, and I was one of those people when I was not all in for Force Awakens, but when the Disney deal was made, I was all fucking in. I was like, Kathleen Kennedy in charge, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher are back. George is going to be involved somehow. Like Kathleen Kennedy, the prolific producer, is ahead of Lucasfilm. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, and they had like promos about
yeah.
the practical effects, and they were talking about how much they're going to listen to the people and get them what they want and stuff. And it's like, all right, okay, all right,
sounds good.
Oh man, like I was when that happened, I remember I was listening. There was a podcast called Forcecast, and I was listening to them, and I couldn't wait to hear their reaction. Those guys went on to create Rebel Force Radio after everything kind of fell apart there. But I was just so excited, and I was just searching. And this is where the whole nonsense about like people are saying like, oh, well, these guys are just pushing negativity, making people angry. No, people are angry. Therefore, they're listening to what a lot of us are saying because they agree with us. Because I guarantee you, if any of us would have just made angry content back then, it would have gotten universally rejected because no one was angry. We weren't angry. We were happy. We were excited. That's why enthusiastic Star Wars stuff was blowing up the internet. And all of these channels got so comfortable with just loving Star Wars. And then as soon as that tide started turning, they wouldn't criticize it because they wanted to stay in good graces with Disney.
Yep.
And then you had a bunch of angry fans that basically we were the angry fans. That's all we were. We weren't like we weren't content creators or anything, or we didn't have any big followings. We were just angry fans. And we started talking about it. And other people were like, well, I'm tired of hearing these people tell me that the movie's the greatest thing ever and we're racist and sexist. We're not racist and sexist. We just hated the movie. And that's where this whole thing started. It ain't about making people angry or tapping into anger. It's about people just rejected it. And you had all the goodwill in the world. You had the original trilogy fan base, you had the prequel fan base, and you had a newer fan base that was being introduced to it. You had 3 generations of Star Wars fans that came together for The Force Awakens, and you have fucked it all up. Everybody hates it now. That's how bad it is.
So you brought it up earlier. Game of Thrones. We had separate live streams like on channels that weren't, you know, as big as they were now, that had fucking huge crowds. Did they come to get angry from us, or were they already fucking angry?
They just wanted to find someone that wasn't telling them, hey, you're racist, you're sexist, you're misogynist if you don't like this. They just wanted to see authentic reactions. And that's why people continue to watch it.
Well, dude, one of the big things everyone's always chasing is catharsis, right? And it comes from simultaneous. You can have it from loving a thing with everybody, talking about it, loving it, but it can just switch overnight, or a long night might switch it over.
I saw what you did there.
I see what you did there.
You seek catharsis for the opposite end. You want to see and talk about how awful it was to feel less crazy, to feel more as part of a group of people who can see the same thing you see.
Yeah, and we all go through that. I'll never forget, after episode 3 of Game of Thrones, I made my video. I got a lot more backlash than I was used to, and I'm like, damn, because I did not like it at all. And this was been episode 3 of the last season of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was still operating on another level. Like, it was still positivity like crazy. And then the next morning I woke up and I saw, like, man, people are pissed at me. This might be my first ratio video. Then I saw Gary had the same opinion, and I was like, okay, thank goodness. At least I'm not crazy. At least Gary agrees with me, even though I got people coming for my throat. And then we all know how that all went. And then me and MauLer heard the spoilers a few episodes later. We're like, there's no way it's real. Well, it can't be this bad. It
was that bad. And what also, I mean, there was that's where the division of the book fans and the TV show fans happened. Because when the Cope argument was they were always setting up Danny for that, it's like, no, they fucking weren't. Okay, like, they're slowly doing it in the book. Yes, they did not do it in the fucking show. They didn't even get fucking close. They did bullet points.
I was on a stream like yesterday or the day before. I was talking to someone who said, like, they did kind of set up Daenerys going insane by having her kill prisoners of war. I was like, killing prisoners of war and killing innocent children are kind of different. There's a
stretch.
A big stretch. And, like, you know, again, there's a whole Marine thing that could probably lead up to that he hasn't finished yet, that he is setting up, but they never showed it in the show. So stop. And like Dan and Dave coming out and basically saying we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. You know, like,
they kind of forgot.
No shit. It's kind of apparent.
It's all played out. And then they brought in somebody who does know what they're doing, and fucking beyond any like, I can't believe I'm back into that fucking like, House of the Dragon's great. It's fucking great. And I'm like looking at spoilers and all this shit. I'm like, I remember this is fun. And now I could just pretend it's in the book universe, which will never finish. So, which is better than the ending from the fucking show. So,
I think you can do a review stream if he puts out another book.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll read that book in a day. Well, maybe two.
Well, 2.
Well, the good news is, Gary, it's never coming out.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it. You're absolutely right. Sorry, I said this one wrong. Eaton Ass. Eaton K-Ass for $100. Shout out to Benny and the Fellowship. Reminder of the Second Chance campaign for Acronomic Chronicles Blue, a children's comic about finding your value, friendship, and the courage to tell the truth when the world tells you to stay quiet. The author tripped Winnie the Pooh, by the way. So
he just relaunched this campaign for 30 days. So
do we have links in there in the chat? Hopefully, we put that in there.
I'm sure the mods will get it. But yeah, he just relaunched it for 30
Hail
days.
the mods.
So Second Chance campaign. If you guys are interested, go check out Achromatic Chronicles.
Happy birthday, Drunk 3PO, the man who gets shouted, the most famous YouTuber under 100,000 subscribers to ever live, and the most shouted out YouTuber ever. who does rely heavily on other people to get subscribers. I agree with that. Love you, Jay.
Jay's the fucking best, man.
That tweet
Hit
was...
a 5 subs without us.
Bro, that tweet was perfect. As that tweet was picture perfect. Patrick Ells for $50. Yeah, well, Patrick Ells, sorry, it's Friday Night Tights, and yes, I love it when somebody's trying to make a point, and you can tell you can tell they're going to a punchline of a joke, and and everybody talks over him. Yeah, it's. I saw Joe Rogan do that to Dave Smith on a clip, and I never see Joe doing that, but he talked over like this awesome. It wasn't a punchline to a joke. He was making a point about like, and I'm like, whoa, Joe, you fucked up. I feel like I'm actually hanging out with nerd friends. God bless socially awkward nerds and hail FNT. That's what we are. I can't tell you how many good jokes Az has just fucking completely stepped on. I told him it's okay.
None.
At least 20,
baby.
This stream.
None.
Yeah.
Are you still here, Jeremy?
I am.
Yeah, he's hanging out. We're wrapping up. We're wrapping up. Thanks, Jeremy, for staying out like staying the whole thing.
Fucking thank me, like.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, Jeremy.
Listen, it's been busy lately. Okay, so everybody like I swear to God.
Yeah, you know what?
I've seen so many people like he's gearing up to leave Friday Night Tights, guys. Like he's getting ready. I can tell. I'm never unless they kick me out. I ain't going nowhere.
I told him he's not allowed to quit. I mean, he actually is only supposed to be on for one show, and I am not letting him. Like, I'll give him like work release once in a while, but he ain't fucking going anywhere.
One episode and never fucking left. Like I can tell Jeremy he's working his way out. He's working his way out. Like, no, okay.
Dan Vask for 50 Brazilian pesos says, of course, Gary has a gay friend. I'm not even 50 Brazilian dollars. It gets this. That's it. I'm just kidding. Of course, Gary has gay friends. He was the mayor of Sodom and Gomorrah back in the day.
As we like to call it now, California.
I was only voted out because they stole the election, Dan. Okay. It was election interference. And then luckily I left before it was destroyed by God. So there you go.
And then they took your mugshot and everything.
I took my mugshot. It's almost like the same thing that's going to happen to California. God tried. He gave it a good effort over the weekend, and all it did was flop Blue Beetle. So there you go.
God, dude.
What happens when a hurricane hits Southern California? It's called God flushing the toilet. Okay, so,
yeah, pretty much.
Hangry is angry for $40 says, I'm currently reading Heir of the Empire for the first time. I honestly think Filoni is trying to elevate Ahsoka above Luke. No, that is what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. And make her the new hero of Star Wars, at least until Rey shows up. Sorry, Doctor Who may be delayed. Yes, Doctor Who is delayed.
I don't think they believe that they can do anything with Rey. I think they know that Rey is a fucking flop, and so they're basically trying to tap into this Ahsoka thing. But they've just like Ahsoka had a huge.
Pretty retarded.
They are pretty retarded.
Are you sure?
I'm sure that Dave Filoni is 100% trying to make Ahsoka the face of Star Wars.
Dude.
Oh, that's true.
No,
Yeah.
100%.
You know what's
answer a question then? What is Ahsoka's personality?
What do you mean?
Bland, boring,
Currently.
uninteresting.
You know what's going to be fucking hilarious?
Stoic.
When
Which IP? Like which show are you talking about? Because
Currently,
Just
all
all
over
over
Ahsoka's
the place.
personality
Ahsoka.
Currently, as of episode 2 of Ahsoka.
Yeah, what is her character?
I mean, from what I've seen, she seems to be pretty dry and pretty much standoffish. Like it's like she's better than everybody is what it comes off.
Robert Meyer Burnett on a stream put it like succinctly, perfectly, and he said the same thing about Star Trek. Star Wars is no longer about anything; it's about itself. That's it. And that's that's how
I felt watching Ahsoka. I was like, this just sort of looks like a Star Warsy type.
Yes. Okay, so they have the shitty crawl, then they have the shitty ship in space, as if like to reference both A New Hope and now Force Awakens, because that did the exact same fucking thing, and it's done it again. And then you have spooky big black lightsaber man slashing everybody in a corridor of a spaceship. It's just like, man, this feels familiar. And you know that they started with all of that to be like, don't worry, everybody, this is Star Wars.
They double mirrored two things. So they mirrored Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan showing up at the prequel in the beginning, mirrored it with the Ray Stevenson and his Chihuahua. And they also mirrored Darth Vader coming out of his ship. Like it was supposed to be the exact same thing. It was like, oh my God, now they're just copying themselves over and over again. They have no originality. They suck. They fucking suck.
Once that was over, though, it was just slow cringe.
Yes.
Everything else they've got on to offer you.
No kissing.
You know what would be fucking hilarious if they do the Rey movie and we make lots of videos and it'd be funny. And Jeremy like puts in his fourth pool and I'll put in my second. And then, but Ahsoka shows up in the Rey movie. Like she goes like, "What's up, girl? I totally missed you."
I would put money on that happening right now.
There's a good chance that could happen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. They think they can evolve it past. Like, what do you think of in terms of iconic Star Wars characters? Like, it's going to be Luke, Vader, Obi-Wan, Han Solo. Like, you can't knock them out and replace them, no matter how fucking hard.
Sure, they can. They can try.
Well, you know how it's always in the story where the male mentor always has to die so the hero can rise, the whole hero's journey. Well, it's going to be different for the hero's journey because the hero mentor is going to survive, and they're just going to kick ass together.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're going to live forever.
They're going to live forever.
Yeah. Women don't die; they just transform.
Do you know what's a good way to deal with your enemies? Let them dock on your ship when they're infinitely more powerful than you, so you can go up to their face.
That was my first. That was my first thought.
I got you.
I'm like, hey,
I'm suspicious of this. I think I'll give them everything that they want and let them come on the ship. It's like, come on.
Oh, by the way, since when could the maybe I missed this? Okay, since when could the Force pick locks?
Yeah, that also stood out to me as well. Like it's doing the droid thing on the lock. I'm like, since when?
This definitely does feel like we're so far beyond like what the Force can fucking do anymore. There's just no rules at all.
Also, did you appreciate how narratively they had to make this scene where Ahsoka like was able to control her lightsabers to cut holes, so that later on that scene she can jump into the hole and then have that happen to make all the robots fall through? Because you're like, oh, I see what you did there. You just added that in for no reason other than to make it look cool.
You might not have noticed, but when you're watching it again, which most of you won't do, those holes look like fucking cartoon holes, like Wile E. Coyote laid them down. It was so bad. The CG was so bad. Yeah. And they were perfect circles, by the way. Well done.
Well, also, isn't it funny that she spent so fucking long trying to solve the puzzle? Where it's like, did you just cut your way into this ancient temple?
I know.
Or you just cut the fucking thing open as well. Save time.
But how did it take us so long to turn something?
Because it was mystical as.
And then go to another one and go, oh yeah, and then go to another one and just go, oh look, it's all done.
Mystical.
Bet it doesn't take that long
Doesn't
to turn
make any
on her
fucking
vibrator.
sense. Why would they? I know this has basically been covered before. I'm going to bring it up again. The whole thing with that map leading to Thrawn and what's his name is so fucking stupid. Especially being in a temple that was like, what, centuries old at this point?
Yeah, what you're supposed to think is that's a special location that the Night Sisters built 1,000 years ago, so they had access to it, but they don't explain that at all in the show. So you're like, wait a minute, you just found a map that's 1,000 years old for somebody who just
at the same fucking place.
For somebody,
that's the thing is
for
dumb.
for somebody who just left. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait to see if they explain it.
Isn't this also the first time the Night Sisters have been in live action?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched Clone Wars, you've got no fucking idea.
I had not a clue.
And they sounded funny as fuck when she mentioned it. I was like, what the
Yeah,
hell
I
is
know.
that?
Because you know what? It's so new to have an all-female organization in a science fiction show too. It's just such a fresh idea. Sisterhood of Karn, Bene Gesserit. They did it twice in one Star Trek season. It was fucking terrible.
I mean, I want to unpack the whole map thing that Comics Division is bringing up because I think they're trying to say that this.
I like to hang maps on
leads
walls
to a special spot,
or put them up against walls,
and that just is where Thrawn just so happens to be. But how do they know Thrawn is there in the first place then? To know that this
well, no, that's the whole point. They don't explain. So what you're supposed to assume is this location is important to the Night Sisters, and it's connected to something evil and bad in another big bad from the galaxy that Ryan could probably pick out from some EU story that they're ripping off, right? So there's some other evil entity in another galaxy that Thrawn is with. So it's not that Thrawn was there, it was more the location. He was supposed to go to that location that they knew about 1,000 years. How you get that out of the show, I have no fucking idea. Maybe. So he took
They said he was banished there.
Yeah.
And who told Ahsoka that as well? That
how in the fuck did he give the location of where he was when he was taken by the space whale and didn't have time to like so did he send a subspace communication through time? I don't fucking know.
Have y'all talked about how like the hooded Sith dude is most likely it can end up being Ezra at the end of the day?
Oh, you mean Snake Eyes?
Yeah, either that or
Snake Eyes.
It's gonna be like it's Ezra. You're like
Snake
really?
Eyes or Star. It's supposed to be Star Killer or Ezra. Either one would be
or it could just
fucking
be Sam Witwer
retarded.
Probably a better representation of Snake Eyes than Snake Eyes movie.
Another theory was bad, evil Luke clone, which I kind of like.
Well, you notice how
he was just an inquisitor.
You notice how he didn't kill Ahsoka when he could have easily done it, especially when he called for his like helicopter lightsaber
that
back.
shit was funny.
That's, by the way, I love that he just decided not to use the helicopter lightsaber function when he was fighting her, and that would have killed her instantly. But
literally, Gary, like literally, there's a point where she blocks a lightsaber, she crosses hers, and he's locking there in this pose. But he's got a double-ended lightsaber. All he needs to do is rotate upwards, and the bottom end would have sliced it completely off. And she was just standing there.
No, as picked out the best thing when I think it was in this fight, when she's taking on, she does this little hop, right? And it's supposed to look all badass, and it just looks like a 47-year-old woman hopping, 44, however. Sorry, Rosario Dawson. I don't mean to make you older than you are, but
Ageist.
Well, fuck, I'm older than her. I can't be ageist, so I can jump
I like
higher
the
than
very clear stunt double when she like hops out of the hole and then like lands, and I'm like they linger on it just a little bit too long, and I'm just like, oh, hello, someone that's not Rosario Dawson.
No.
Hold up.
I'm used to that. I'm watching Buffy right now, and you could just see the 40-year-old woman doing karate for her. It's so great. The best is Star Trek, because sometimes William Shatner's stunt men had fucking mustaches. Gurn Raptor for $50. Do you think that the upcoming remaster of The Dark Forces will be more culturally relevant than anything Disney has pushed out since they acquired the license?
What do you mean by culturally relevant? What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Kyle
like
Katarn,
Dark Forces is being remastered, so Star Wars Dark Forces is being remastered.
He says Kyle Katarn should be known as the OG hero that he always has been to the fans. That's what
I don't think they're going to make any changes to it because they haven't recently with some of the other stuff. To my knowledge, I haven't played any of the remastered, but I haven't heard anything that they've changed. So I wouldn't anticipate they're making any changes. I also don't know if I don't know if it's going to have any more relevancy now. I don't feel like it's going to be it'll be good for the hardcore fans. I'm not sure it's going to transcend anything beyond the hardcore fans of it. I think something like Force Unleashed probably is something that has a little more like
it was a fun game,
broader appeal than if it was re-released. Yeah.
Do you remember when they were going to remake KOTOR and they gave it to that fucking massive SJW twat?
Yep.
And the only saving grace was she got fired. I'm just thinking, how bad were her fucking changes that even a woke company was just like, we just gotta fucking stop this.
Bad. That's like Victoria Alonso getting fired. It's like, whew, how bad was she?
Yep.
Hey, by the way, we won't have any fighting in the game. How's that? You're fired.
Diesel Alley for $50. It may not be 1937, but women are still swiping right on Prince Charming's handsome and dollar bills, y'all, aka Prince Chad. Times haven't changed that much. Hail FNT. Well, I mean,
just the indoctrination's changed.
I mean, there's a new form of puritanism out there for sure.
Oh yeah,
and it's fucking terrible. This is the last one of the night. Foggy Beamer Gamer for $50. I almost read this wrong. I must have read this wrong. I'll read it wrong. I'm disappointed that Az is not showing up to the Ukraine meetup.
That meetup is a money laundering scheme.
Yeah.
It says
joke of the night, Gary.
Thank you. Thank you. I just saw UK and I thought Ukraine for some reason, so why not?
That's where my mind always is on Ukraine.
That's where all my money's going, so, you know, it's on my mind.
Yeah.
My mind is my money, and my money's going to Ukraine. Whatever the fuck. Az, we don't love you for your body. We love you for your mind and your tongue. Hail FNT. Wow.
I want you to love me for my body.
And your
I just
tongue.
want to be objectified. I don't care about personality or shit.
We should get a free round trip ticket to Ukraine and like free overnight, like weekend stay for all our money.
If you want to piss off a Ukraine flag person in on Twitter, just be like, "Hey, I see you're a Blockbuster Video supporter too."
There you go.
Get really fucking mad. You're really fucking mad. I'm like, I stand with Blockbuster Video too, brother. I wish I. Man, I remember Blockbuster Video Friday night. Man, you couldn't beat it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Jeremy, I fucking love that. I used to fucking
Oh,
just
it's the
love
best.
going
It was
into
the best.
Blockbuster Video.
That's exciting.
You know, just looking at all the fucking games which were now been rented out.
It was hopping, like everyone you went to, it was crowded as hell. It was great.
Like I obviously I love the internet. The internet's changed my life. Like I've done really good for myself, as all of us have here. But it's just taken away so much of like everything's so easily accessible now. Like when I would go to Blockbuster, I remember the way I would be able to judge like if it's a movie I wanted to see outside of if I already knew about it. Like I'll never forget this, The Fugitive with Harrison Ford.
Yes.
There was a fucking, the way I would judge it, it feels like a movie I should watch is because how many copies did Blockbuster Video have? And the fucking Fugitive, they had 2 massive rows of The Fugitive. It was always out. And there was one time I went in there and there were 3 copies and I'm like, what? I wanted to rent all 3, you know, but it was like everything had like, whoa, the light shining, you know, I just like, it was a moment. I'm like, I'm going to see The Fugitive. Same with Braveheart. There was like 3 fucking walls of Braveheart. You know what I mean? And that excitement, you know, would just be like, oh, you knew that there was something special and there was anticipation and the excitement. And now you just click it on.
Did you have I know. Did you have a warehouse where you were, Jeremy?
What do you mean warehouse?
The warehouse.
Warehouse Video?
Warehouse record. It was actually Warehouse Records. But
Records? I don't remember. I remember I had Hollywood Video, Blockbuster Video, Movie Gallery. Those were the 3.
I worked at the warehouse, so I was in the video department during that era, dude. It was fucking nuts. It was nuts. I loved it. We were busy as fuck. People yelling at us. We were like hiding movies. All the new releases we wanted to see, we were fucking hiding them. Oh, we're totally out, sir. I know it says 1. I don't know what happened. Wow.
Well, it's why I'm sorry to interrupt. It's why, like, as much as Kevin Smith is a complete bitch these days, I love watching the first Clerks movie because it brings you back to that.
That's
we're
Generation X.
Star Wars argument in the middle of the story.
Yeah, so fucking good.
No, that's Generation X's retail. Like we grew up in retail. All of us fucking worked in retail, so it kind of spoke to all of us. But then he turned into a massive fucking cuck.
Yeah,
you would get those N64 games, and you would get someone else's save, and it would be like the wrestling games where they'd build their own characters, and you just be like, I need to know more about this person who had this before me.
Dude, I when I was young, like I got my parents bought me a Panasonic 3DO, and I begged them. It's such a random video game system because like the gamers know Panasonic 3DO. It was a really like niche kind of system. It was like
great system.
Oh, I loved it. And for like a fucking like a couple of fucking weeks, I was the most popular kid in the fucking neighborhood. Like it was the greatest thing ever. And then it just like somebody else got another game and nobody wanted to hang out with me anymore. But like for a couple weeks, I was the coolest kid in the neighborhood because I had a fucking 3DO and everybody wanted to hang out with me. But little shit like that.
Till they didn't.
Like,
Yeah, till they didn't. That's
till
fine.
They did.
Yeah, till they didn't.
But yeah, the 3DO was the shit.
Crunchy Beaver for $50. This is the last one. Repurposing a joke I told you on Geeks and Gamers yesterday with an addition. In the defense of the female characters in Ahsoka, they're used to being stabbed with long shafts. Disney girls start young with that sort of thing, so I've heard. Hail to the Fellowship. Ooh, wow. Well, there's a lot of maps in Disney Star Wars. Okay,
Ooh, there is certainly
lots of maps. Now, personally, I like to hang maps from my ceiling or put them up against the wall. But there's a lot of maps in Disney Star Wars. Okay,
played Gary.
Cheers.
I don't like maps. I put them right in the wood chipper because I can use my phone.
There you go. I don't know about that
Kyle
follow-up.
Rittenhouse wasn't a map lover either.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was not.
And he's also innocent, completely innocent. Did the Lord's
Did
work.
nothing wrong.
Took
Did
out
everything
the
correct.
fucking trash. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. The rest will be on a Square Up that'll be out the next few days. I got a member stream coming up next week too. Got a video about Ahsoka coming out soon. But let's see what Odin. What do you got coming up?
What's up? You can find me over at OpenB Reviews. I've got a member stream tomorrow from 1 to 3 p.m. with my chosen members, and we'll be talking about movies, pop culture, and all that good stuff. And I would not recommend anyone watch Ahsoka unless you want to fall asleep. It is a great cure for, I was going to say narcolepsy, but I don't think that's what
It's
I'm
a great
looking for.
It's a great cure for narcolepsy.
Not narcolepsy.
Insomnia. That's what I'm
Insomnia.
But anyway, thank you so much.
It'll give you narcolepsy.
Yes, it will.
Yes. Thank you, Odin.
Your insomnia for narcolepsy.
Ian.
I have no idea what I have going on. I have another video in the works. I'll figure it out at some point.
I'll figure it out.
Well, that's how most people work, MauLer. Most people don't have like 7 or stacked up for the next 10 years because you can just release 1 a year. Asshole. I'm not jealous.
Yeah. Seriously.
Like every day.
I know.
Oh, I remember what I'm gonna do. There's this video that's been going around of this woman complaining about the nudity in Oppenheimer, and yeah, it's talking about the whole kind
best
of
part.
Oh, fucking.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, and yeah, just I think that this is partially the result of the Me Too movement, but yeah, it's interesting to kind of digest and break down.
Well, stupidity is we cover a lot of it, so
Yep.
almost exclusively. Thanks, Ian.
You're welcome, Gary.
Comics Ian. Shad.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, buddy.
Hey. So, I'm going to a medieval festival over the weekend.
Yes, you are.
I'm shocked.
Nice.
Yeah. It's the England's Medieval Festival. So I'm going tomorrow. That's more of a casual thing, but there's an official meetup on the 28th, which is the Monday over here. And you can meet me at 2 p.m. if you go to the England's Medieval Festival. It's here in East Sussex, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And if people want to see something interesting and a little different, right? Over on Shadowversity, we've started a new series called Epic Adventure Quest. It's a comedic narrative series that's like a medieval fantasy version of The Office. And I'm loving this stuff. I think it's a heap of fun.
It's fun.
And I reckon
I like it.
People will enjoy it. Go check that out. It's something very different. And, making culture, making our own entertainment. And we are wanting to do more. We're hoping to, if this takes off, we want to push it even further. So that's what's happened with me at the moment.
Hell yeah. Look at that Iron Age getting, Az is just fucking killing it right now. So I watch that stuff. I like it. I do.
Thank you. I'm glad.
I watch all, when Jeremy made videos, I watched his videos. I liked him
months ago.
When he made videos.
Yeah.
But I watch everybody's videos except for Az's. Just kidding. Chrissy Mayer, where are you? I mean, what state are you in? I don't want to.
I'm in
dox you.
beautiful upstate New York,
Oh, there you go.
in like the belt of hotels where the comedians used to say racist jokes with impunity. Good
Back in the
times.
day.
Catskills. Can't wait for more Ahsoka. Ahsoka, whatever.
Ahsoka. Ahsoka's good.
Listen, I'm a man of the people. People have been asking for Chrissy to be full screened the whole stream. So can you full screen her during her outro? I'm a man of the people.
Oh,
there
my
we go.
goodness.
Chat,
Wow.
you're welcome. Chat, you're welcome.
My whole bra's hanging out. Okay.
They want more than your bra hanging out, Chrissy. I'm just telling you.
I'm going to be in LA September 8th and 9th at the Pineapple Hill Saloon or the Pineapple Grill Saloon, something like that. So you can get tickets if you're in the Sherman Oaks or LA area. Then I'll be in Long Island. After that, before that, September 23rd, I'll actually be in Mayapack, New York, doing a fundraiser show with Anthony Cumia and Gino Bisconti. And then October 27th and 28th, I'll be at the brokerage in Long Island. So for tickets, go to chrissymayer.com. Thank you guys. And Simpcast on Sundays, of course, at 9 p.m. Eastern. And whatever went. Thank you.
Thank you, Chrissy.
That was educational.
Yeah, you know what? The chat was hanging on every word and didn't hear a word you said.
Oh,
All at the same
I am
time.
curious, and
Did
I don't
you
mean
mute
that.
me?
Did you
No.
say anything, Chrissy? I didn't hear anything you said. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Excuse me? I beg your pardon? That's an old one from like junior high, dude.
That's when we got the HR complaint.
Flip City Magazine.
Children, you were jerking off at the beginning of the show on camera.
As was. I mean, he's jerking the entire show. So, Flip City Magazine, I meant to shout them out like last week and didn't. Flip City Magazine, I just did an interview with them. They have a cool ad that's on the beginning of the Midnight's Edge live streams, which I was totally going to steal and didn't do, but I'll do it next week. Look out for that interview. And they actually print the magazine, and it's kind of like an old school 70s like Mad magazine. It's really fucking cool.
They're great.
Really fucking cool. Good people. Check out Flip City Magazine. My interview will be sometime soon. Just one. Thanks for reminding me, Lady Greenmaster. Good job. Where was I? Boom, boom, boom. I'm
wearing work gloves.
Oh, shit. You're going to get serious about whacking now.
Wow.
That is a serious wank if you're wearing gloves.
That's it.
Okay, thanks.
That's what I got coming up.
Check out Heel versus Babyface on his channel and streaming.
We're watching a video from yesterday. I actually really like it.
I'm glad you like your own video.
Marketing, man.
It's a good video.
Don't if you don't want to. I don't fucking care.
That's like that line from Sabine. He's really resilient like me.
So stupid.
Shut up, woman. Shut up, woman.
God.
Dialogue is so awful in that show.
It's really bad.
He's so brave, like me.
Yeah. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. When's Cobra Cast tonight?
10 o'clock tonight. 10 o'clock, and man, it's been a hell of a week for Cobra Cast, so I appreciate all you guys. Same with Geeks and Gamers. I'm gonna have Salty Cracker on Cobra Cast next Monday.
Salty,
nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell him I said hi.
Yeah. And Drew Hernandez on Tuesday night's main event on Geeks and Gamers this week.
Drew, and we'll get him on FNT when we get back.
So Drew's got a new show we're going to be promoting for him. And so just go check out Achromatic Chronicles from Drunk 3PO, my good buddy, Drunk 3PO. So happy to be here. Not leaving FNT. I might, I'm going bi-weekly.
It's going bisexual.
Az got a little too excited at that joke.
Az is like,
bothers me. Az got a little too excited about that joke.
I just thought you were fucking being honest for once in your life. That's all I
you look
thought.
like Az was like, so you're telling me there's a chance?
Jeremy, in all fairness, mate, you don't have the fucking rack for it.
Not yet.
That's how you handle a gay joke right there. Az, that was a master class right there.
Is that how you handle it?
So long, gay boys.
Thank you guys. Great FNT. Awesome having Benny Johnson on. And it's always an honor to meet MauLer for the first time ever.
It is, man. A bit about you and all your stuff. Pleasure. Is that an Interstellar poster in the background, by the way?
Yes, my favorite movie ever.
Fucking God.
Yes.
Get the
You
outros
know
going,
this.
Gary.
He got mad at me when I said it was all right. He's like, it's not all right.
Favorite movie of all time. Do you know how many times I've had people like, MauLer's going to rip it apart?
Put
I'm like,
fucking The Dark Knight on there. Why is Interstellar there?
nah, man, Interstellar
Prestige. You like it more than Prestige?
Yes, Dark Knight is his best movie.
no, Prestige is his best movie.
No, Dark Knight is by far.
Prestige is his best movie.
Yeah, I'm going with Prestige.
Hey, I'm not
too.
going to argue. The Prestige is a phenomenal.
Dark
movie.
Knight's awesome.
Dark
Knight's
Knight's
awesome.
Nolan's best movie.
Dark Knight is awesome. And you know what? I love what Nolan does. Like he'll have to prepare his crew for a movie. He'll have them watch a movie. Like for Dark Knight, he had them watch Heat. And yeah, I like that. Incidentally,
Before Interstellar, they watch Barbie.
The only Nolan movie I do not like outright at this point is Tenet. I don't like Tenet. I've tried. Okay. And I've got Nolan fans who are like, Jeremy, after the 7th viewing, you really start to get it.
I got the first time.
It's better than Dunkirk.
Come on. Nah, Dunkirk's awesome.
no, I like Dunkirk. It's
Yeah,
fine.
Dunkirk's awesome.
You like the Dark Knight Rises?
It's shit.
I like The Dark Knight Rises. It has massive problems that the other two films don't.
Yes, he loves
Massive.
I was born.
Dark Knight Rises is, I'd say, if I'm being like, if just looking at objectively as I can, like Dark Knight Rises is probably his second worst movie to Tenet. Tenet's his worst, and then Dark Knight Rises.
Not gonna argue with that. Not gonna argue with that.
Yeah.
Prestige is a shit.
Oh no, Prestige is a
Great.
amazing
Go
film.
watch it again.
Yeah.
It'll be
And
your
it's-
favorite.
And it's honestly, it's sad because Prestige is probably one of the films of his that's flown most under the radar because that was before he became a big star. Because that was Prestige was after Batman Begins, if I'm not mistaken, but before The Dark Knight. And so he really kind of went to another level with The Dark Knight. But Prestige, like box office, nobody went to see that shit. Like that was the year that came out with The Illusionist with Edward Norton came out. And the
It was like, which one is which?
Mm-hmm. And there were and Prestige is I haven't watched it in years, but I'd like to. I've seen it multiple times. It's damn near a perfect movie. It's a great movie.
David Bowie's Tesla is one of the greatest
I
castings.
watched it with
of all
Ad
time.
recently. It was really fun.
That's really fun.
It was phenomenal.
MauLer.
Absolutely phenomenal.
What do you got coming?
And we were pausing because MauLer and I watching it together. It's MauLer's favorite film of all time, and so I'd say stop. MauLer would pause the film, and I'd like MauLer wouldn't say anything, and I would just say to MauLer what I thought was happening, and he'd just go, okay. And then we'd carry on, and then then at the end, of course,
Film is very spoilable. Like,
Yeah.
you can definitely tell people.
Was that this wasn't your first time seeing it, was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I like it when any of my friends haven't seen it because I'm like, I get to watch it again.
It's really, it really is fucking. It's amazing.
So,
It's an amazing movie.
your next video is coming out soon, right, MauLer?
Oh yeah, totally tomorrow. It'll be a 24-hour video stream where I hang out with a bunch of people and we watch. Some videos or something.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
That's
EFAP's 5th year anniversary.
I will be there.
MauLer's next video will be out before mine. I was
Probably
live
will.
and somebody said something and I can't remember what it was. I feed off the chat. I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'll make a fucking video right now. I typed some shit in Google and I just recorded like a 4-minute video on whatever the topic was. And I'm like, there, it's that fucking easy. And I'm like, and I'm not going to clip it out. I'm just going to leave it just to prove I can do it.
True.
It's not easy to do 5 to 10 minute just go. That's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not.
So if people we call it low tier as a joke, but it's not everybody can do it. Trust me.
It is low tier from a perspective. Like I think somebody like you or like MauLer, like that, you put like a ton. Like Az don't do shit. He just but like you guys actually put editing and all this and scripts.
Yeah, Az doesn't edit.
Okay, someone didn't want
I know
Az's Indiana Jones pitch
but
video.
What I'm saying is Az makes similar
They don't watch my
content.
shit.
Az makes similar content to like me and Ryan, where it's just like sit down and just talk about whatever it is. And I know a lot of people can't do that. But I can't do what you guys do either. I don't have the patience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I just don't.
And it's definitely a process, that's for sure.
It can be maddening, dude, but it's fun. You have to be kind
There's
of.
a reason why Gary has an editor.
Yeah. Well, because my wife wants to see me. That's why I have an editor.
Go watch how I would do the next Indiana Jones movie because you don't watch my fucking shit.
That was a great.
Then get back to me.
Dude, that was a great video.
I feel bad on
Great
behalf
video.
of Az being like, yeah, you just vlog or whatever.
No, Az does edit now, and he's doing a really good job with
especially
it.
with his
Yeah.
movie reviews where he was recording himself going to the movies and shit. No,
That's
I don't watch
that's
shit,
awesome.
Fucking asshole.
He starts off in a field, and it's like it's a beautiful.
And then he
day.
shows the driving around. I didn't know, like, y'all didn't, I didn't know
It
you
sets up
had
a
cars
theme.
over there in New Zealand.
Yeah. Driving on the wrong side of the road.
It's actually a very, very fast horse and carriage.
All right. We will wrap this up. I'm going to give you a little piece of a good news if you're a Jeremy Clarkson fan, which I am.
Wait, hang on. I'm like halfway through my.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
Interrupted.
Go on.
Apologize to the long man.
I apologize,
18
long man.
hours and 20 minutes until the start of the 24-hour stream. Many of the gentlemen that appear upon this podcast and ladies will likely be there. Going to do all kinds of stuff. It's the thing we do every year. It's just EFAP celebrating the fact that we haven't been banned yet. So that's always fun. Then, of course, for those who don't know, I got a 6-hour video out as of last week about Ant-Man. If you had 6 hours free, go ahead and jump into that if you want to. It takes a while, and I get a little bit upset at the movie for existing. And then, last thing, vinyls. We got some vinyl figures for the EFAP lads. They're on sale. They'll be going for another 20-ish days, and then when that's up, they're gone forever. So grab them while you can, folks. Thank you for the spreading the links and stuff, lads. It's always a pleasure coming on you. And thank you very much in general. Good night. All right, Gary, you're allowed to continue your show now.
Sorry. I apologize. Big thanks to the Nerdrotics. Eric K. doing a great job sharing out those links. So, where was I? Oh, if you're a Jeremy Clarkson fan, which I know 3 of us here are for sure.
Is that Kelly Clarkson's brother?
Yes, that's it. So he's hinting now that he might not actually be canceled. So there might be hope that there's going to be more Clarkson Farm after season 3. It's looking.
Wow,
very...
we never thought that was going to happen.
Never thought that was going to happen. Because it turns out like the metrics on the show are unbelievable. Like it's as popular as.
They're going to be even better because it covers like 2 years and huge controversies from what I've heard. It's going to be entertaining as hell.
Yeah,
I need to start watching.
They're going to finish filming it in October, and yeah, apparently it was getting as good a ratings as Grand Tour, so they're not going to get fucking rid of it.
Wow, Clarkson's the man.
No, and it also like what it brings to farming, and it's pretty. And also the English countryside, like it's kind of a nice place, you know. So it's a great show if you haven't watched it. Clarkson Farm. It's a goat.
It is, yeah, full recommendation. And it kind of lines up with that whole authenticity selling thing. It is watching a man just trying to fucking run his farm. That's all.
Yeah. It's probably given Amazon more success than Rings of Power.
Well, it's more profit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's easy.
Easy. All right. So, and I've got stuff coming out. So, oh shit, yeah, Garrett's gone. I got to do this myself. Hang on.
We're never gonna leave. The stream's on.
All right, here it comes, everybody.
Lady Gridmaster, you want to say bye? Where'd she go? Oh,
This is exactly how we would expect it to go.
You want to say bye, Lady Gridmaster?
I can get this dollar down Chrissy's top.
We're just gonna sit here and just, my lady.
Wait.
She's probably busy. We're gonna go now.
Mic set up.
We're gonna go now. Next week I have no idea who we have next week. Who do we have next week?
Little Platoon.
Little Platoon. Oh, wow. That's right. Whoa. That was good. That was
because it's in the chat, Gary.
Thank you,
voice of God.
Little Platoon makes his first appearance on Friday Night Tights.
It's
Long
about
overdue.
time.
It's about fucking time. That is a genius channel. If you do not know, go check out Little Platoon. He called me Bass Gandalf. That was really nice. I like
Little Platoon has one of the greatest British accents of YouTube
ever. Like him and MauLer,
rather well spoken.
Him and MauLer could just talk. You should like read like a Christmas stories or something together. It'd be fucking rad. All right, bye. Bye. Bye, everybody. Say bye now.
Bye.
Ciao, Bella. Bye. Ahsoka D's nuts.
God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet. What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all three. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Damn it!